all the videos started coming out, and then people in the general community of Toronto being like, "Oh, so they hosted a rave at the church? That seems kind of like," you get mixed comments, right?
Yeah.
But as a raver, Pastor, the pastor that came out, she did come out and say like, they have repairs, major repairs. So this was a
funds,
way, and this was a way to generate money and maybe bring some youth into the community, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's more. You ever tell people about your vacation that aren't ravers and be like,
Oh, the real
yeah, it's like, oh, where are you going for your birthday?
Tacoma, Washington.
Oh, Tacoma, Washington. It's like, no, it's fun. Don't worry, it's fun. I'm going. It's just like, everyone thinks, oh, I'm gonna go to like Montreal, LA,
And they're going to the gorge. What's the gorge? It's like 3 hours west of Seattle in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah, you're going.
Maybe that's a brand new business idea. Open up a retirement home, and every night there's a rave at the assembly hall of a retirement home. So then everyone just comes out and
day parties. That's how you start day parties. Yeah. Day parties. That's how you bring back day parties. You just started in a retirement home.
Oh my god. Yeah. Were there any like shocking moments, like any news that you found out beforehand and then it came out that you could share?
No, good question. Yeah, like, a couple of albums that got released or like announcements that came out. Some of them we've heard before, like maybe like a Rufus album before they announced it. We kind of get like a little email being, by the way, or this album's gonna come out, but like don't say anything. So yeah, a lot of those. Some insider
tips.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. I mean, it's still cool to get it. Like even for us locally, when we get those insider tips, like, oh.
It makes you feel really like a little child, excited. Like, oh my.
It's kind of funny because like when you meet a raver and you become friends with them, like they know how to enable and convince you in the most nonchalant and like convincing way to get you to go to a show.
We've done raver.
Hey guys, welcome back to the BNB Hurts Podcast, where we're talking about all things EDM. Thanks for tuning in this week. This time we're bringing you back our new segment, our winter segment. I guess the last couple months. What's going on in the EDM world, North America, worldwide. So I'm going to introduce our host for this week. I'm your host for this week, Sunny. To my right is Ekern.
Hey, guys.
To my far right is Christine.
Hi.
And we have a guest, Arrpita.
Yay.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, yeah.
So Arrpita is EDMTunes writer. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. Other than an EDMTunes writer, I am a Toronto raver.
First and foremost.
How did I get into EDMTunes? Maybe.
Yeah. Or in general, how did you start raving? Like, what was your journey?
Okay, so obviously coming to university here, going to the odd shows, I went to Veld. I think the second year it started up, and funny enough, I was actually working with like someone, the booths there, like a ticketing thing, and I was like, wow, this is great. This is fun. Went to a few odd shows, and then I think when I knew I loved it was Osmosis LK Klein event all night long at Coda, and I was like, this is my happy place. I love it.
Shout out Oz. Still kicking it, still hosting great events.
Yep.
Keeping our scene alive, especially for the deep house and prog crowd, which I know that's your favorite genre, right?
100%, yeah. Lane 8, Anjuna, all those guys. Yeah.
House never dies.
Yeah. There's always we find it's one of the niche genres, but you can always see the same from we iterate on the podcast is that if you're looking to get into it, some of those niche genres are the way to go because you'll meet the most friendly people, and there's nothing more friendly than the Anjuna or This Never Happens crowd.
100%. And
especially if you want to go alone, like you'll find people there that everyone's friendly.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is our new segment, so let's just get right into it. I think the first thing, the big elephant in the room that I think everyone wants to talk about and hear about is the casino canceling all EDM events. So for those of you guys just tuning in and maybe you don't know, we had finally a large scale venue to host that like 5,000 to maybe 7,000 people.
The cap size is like what, 12,000?
No. It's a bit less. I think it's 8. It's like 5 to 8. But we finally had a large enough venue to like host these like larger events because we find we're lacking unless you use like Scotiabank or the Coca-Cola Coliseum. We really didn't have anything to host that many people. In
the winters.
In general.
Yeah.
In general, unless it's an outdoor festival. So last year we had our first EDM event there, which was Excision. Essentially we had 2 events there that happen.
That killed it.
Wow, one
Oh.
killed it.
Killed it and then
One.
killed the venue.
Yeah, so history-wise, we had Excision there 2 days.
Mhm.
Really good. Like that was apparently their opening test night event. One of their opening test nights back in March in 2024. And then the next EDM show was Boris.
Boris.
Mhm.
And for those of you guys know, Boris AP is what essentially killed.
That was fire. It looked fire.
We got a lot of
5
viral
a.m.
marketing, but essentially killed it. Now the travesty is we had 3 events booked this year. I mean, I was looking up for the casino. We had ZZ, we had Elderbrook, and we had
Slander.
Slander, which makes perfect sense for those guys, how big they
Mhm.
are to host an event there, and all canceled. And unfortunately, we don't have Slander rebooked, and we don't have Elderbrook announced he's coming back to EI the final weekend.
Yeah.
Zed's dad rebooked at History, so that's great. But losing that venue, I know everyone was pretty upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to go, right?
No, we
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
So for a lot of people, what apparently caused it was the Boris AP. So from what I've been told, I mean, like, what's your guys' thoughts? Like hosting an event in the casino, like I don't know. From what I was told, that breaks a lot of rules.
Yeah. Those cameras are watching.
Yeah, and
They're
They're
unfortunately,
watching.
our EDM scene does love its vitamins. So doing vitamins on the casino dance floor, I don't know.
It's everything that is frowned upon.
Mhm.
Yeah, the viral videos were really cool though. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like Boris does his recap videos too,
Yeah.
and just you can see him doing like the segments of how he does like Day in a Toronto, and just seeing videos of the casino was so cool. Like
Mhm.
I think but essentially that did it in.
Well, I mean, it's a risk that they want to take, right? And they just
Yeah.
didn't know what the outcome would actually entail. So probably there's a wave of like complaints that came in, and they're like, maybe it's not the right thing to do.
It's just so unfortunate because we had that venue and it's like, oh my God. Yeah, it's a little out of the way, but what venue isn't out of the way? And especially
Mhm.
the one positive note on all this is at the moment right now for Toronto, I think we are at a very good stage for random events happening
Mhm.
in like places I would not have expect. We'll talk about one of them very soon, but I think it also comes down to production and sound getting better.
Yeah.
Like I'm noticing McCormick, last couple events at McCormick, Christoph, Stefan Bodzin, production has been actually insane. Even some of the hard techno guys, like we had Vendix there, we had a couple other ones. There was a venue at Alliance Hall, which is technically a banquet hall. It was so funny when I was there. I'm like, yo, I'm looking up and I see the chandelier. I'm like,
I really like. It's bad to use the word, but I really hate those venues. Like,
but I used to hate them when they had shit sound
Yeah.
and like the acoustics weren't good. But I find, and we definitely need to have an episode on this.
Yeah.
I find lately the production and lighting, everyone's stepping up their game.
Yeah.
So
the portability actually helps a lot.
yeah. So losing the casino sucks. I don't know if we'll get a large scale venue like that. But yeah, I don't think we'll ever get the full answer because it just happened on a whim. And there's been a lot of speculations. Like the one I heard was, it's on the AP is what killed it.
Yeah.
Someone apparently got fired for approving it. That's what I heard.
oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, and it's because you're dealing with OLG at that point, right? Like think about all these venues. Like think about Vegas. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen an event hosted on the casino floor?
No.
Fire.
Especially considering all the rules you're breaking, especially the crowd that's there. Like
Yeah.
they can see what you're doing on the dance floor, on the casino floor, guys. These camera systems are better than most.
Mhm.
So it took a while for them to announce it, which is kind of weird. But thinking about it, it's because they had to get the evidence, and then obviously it goes up higher chain command, and they're like, okay, no more EDM events at
Yeah.
casino.
It's just too bad.
Yeah, I don't
For
even know if
those
we'll
that
ever
were
get it
booked.
back because you can't. Vitamins in the scene is very common, so I don't know if you'll ever get that.
There's one thing that comes up in my mind is that like I've like essentially the past like year-ish too, I've only mostly been festival hopping, so I'm not like in the Toronto scene that much, but I notice a lot of these big festivals and events happen at convention centers, but I don't remember Metro Toronto Convention Center having any raves. Like
Yeah,
there was
It's so that's another thing is that we have these like the Zamna did it at the International
yeah,
Center, which
yeah.
is like really cool.
that area is just I don't know.
I mean, but it's
Yeah.
right next to casino, so in
Yeah.
terms of
Mhm.
distance, it's right there. But it's really cool. But I think it has to also come down with like renting prices.
Yeah.
I think the cost to justify those events might
Mm.
be too much for a gamble. But I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It makes
Essentially,
sense
that's what it
Sam
is,
that
right?
did it though, because the bigger production, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a bigger production.
Mhm.
So
Especially when you have the name backing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what was crazy though? I think Gareth Emery came out. So Gareth Emery did his laser show in
City.
Toronto,
Yeah.
and apparently he was very close to booking casino. Like it was essentially he was gonna
no.
book the casino.
Oh.
Mhm.
So, but I'm thinking, as this is all speculation. I'm thinking he probably got word. Someone told him like, "Hey, this is happening." Like,
Oh.
and I think with the way contracts work, like people don't maybe realize it, but a lot of your artists are already booked like 8 months to 10 months
Yeah.
already,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Like the EI lineups are completely done.
Mhm.
It's not like they're just waiting for the announcement because they can. Even it's funny thing, like we think about Tomorrowland.
Mhm.
Tomorrowland's decided like in September, October of like
Yeah.
last year, and then they
Yeah.
announced it in January. Same with
Yeah.
EDC. Like EDC is always notorious for releasing it like February, March. Oh, they know who's there back in October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always funny to think about that. But any final things on the casino you guys want to talk about?
Wish we were there.
R.I.P.
Did anyone go? I know I went. I know
I went
Karen
to Excision, but not Boris.
No, we didn't go
Mm.
Boris.
Yeah.
Did you guys go?
Not at all.
No,
No.
I wasn't in town for any of those.
Damn.
I was
gonna go
also told that like the behavior of the attendees at Boris were unacceptable because they were like puking, they were pushing people and stuff like
Oh.
that. So
Yeah.
I think one thing, like you said, gathering the evidence from the AP and then all the guests on the theater floors kind of ramp it up. So
I guess
probably,
the-
yeah.
I mean, it's now said and done, but I guess if they didn't do an AP, which was announced last minute too, it's not like the AP was decided.
Yeah.
And this is where I've heard speculation that someone got fired for approving it.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't announced like early. So if they just had the Boris event, I wonder if we'd be talking about something different right now. Are you not talking about casino at all?
Mhm.
And seeing Slander, seeing Elderbrook. When was Elderbrook supposed to be next week?
I feel
Ne-
like those crowds would have
Yeah,
been
next week.
Yeah.
more
Chill.
tamed.
So Elderbrook would have been, as of this recording, April
25th.
25th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elderbrook would have been like people sipping beers and stuff.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
such a chill crowd.
Chill
Slander
crowd.
would have been more of the Excision crowd, but
Mhm.
still respectful.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. People will be sloshed as hell.
Yeah.
But as I said, the venue saw they didn't like what they see, so
Also, they weren't making enough money with the alcohol apparently because people were vitamined up. So yeah.
I heard that the alcohol sold out, so they couldn't even like
Oh,
replenish
really?
it.
yeah,
after.
I heard that too. So I
Yeah.
don't think it was that. I literally just
Oh.
think everything came down to the AP.
Yeah.
I think they can deal with people doing shit in the
Regular
In the
show.
dark?
Yeah.
because you think about like country shows and all those shows, they drink way more. Like you can't
like
convince me
over.
not that you're gonna have less drunk people
Yeah.
at a country
Yeah.
show compared
Yeah.
to an EDM show.
It's just that the bright lights in the casino floor, and you just see everything. So
Mm.
Yeah.
it is what it is.
So
So, RIP Casino 2024 to 2024, right?
Yeah.
Boris was 2024. Right?
Yes,
2024.
September.
Yeah, essentially 2024, 2024. At least I got to experience that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least once. Yeah,
Yeah.
twice actually. Went to both days in Excision.
Go watch the Boris AP. I wonder if it's still up there. I've never actually checked if the Boris
I don't
casino video is
know.
up there. Because I know he knows that
Mm.
apparently caused some stuff, but I mean, what is he gonna do?
Yeah.
So Zed's that history. So speaking of a great venue now that is now a staple in Toronto is History.
Mm-hmm.
I've really enjoyed going to History as of recently.
Me too.
Like
It's always good enough space unless it's a very crowded show and you want to be in the crowd.
Mhm.
even if
Yeah.
it's a crowded show, you can find spaces.
In
Which
the
is like
center.
Yeah.
I like if you just go early and you stand by the back rail,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong
Favorite
with that
spot
spot.
is the stairs.
Yeah, the stairs is so
Yeah.
good. Like
'Cause
when you
you're
enter
elevated.
when you enter History,
Yeah.
I don't think sound is as important as other venues. Like the acoustics are good enough for what you're seeing. Like
Mhm.
I like to call the stair spots. The moment you enter, yeah, it's busy at the beginning, but once the headliner's on, that stair spot is like clutch.
Yeah.
You get an elevated view. You
Yeah.
can sit like it's just a good all around venue.
Yeah.
And they've taken feedback and they're upgrading like their sound. Like the sound is really good. Like I have no
Yeah.
complaints about the sound now
Yeah.
in History. So shout out History. And with that, they are building a History Ottawa,
Oh, really?
Oh,
which
nice.
is what I've heard. I don't know what the exact dates for opening is, but I mean, knowing friends in Ottawa, it makes perfect sense for the scene because
Mhm.
History is not just EDM, it's everything.
Everything. Yeah.
So having a venue like History is perfect for a city like Ottawa, which has so much culture and has a lot of history with like rock bands, pop bands. So having a venue that can host larger events is going to help the EDM scene. And I don't think it's open before Escapade, but
Okay.
it helps with Escapade
Oh,
weekend to
right.
host
The
Yeah.
after parties.
because
Like,
the APs at Escapade are
historically horrible locations.
yeah.
Yeah.
horrible locations. They've been trying more venues. You didn't go.
There was also a banquet hall when I went.
Did
like, 2
anyone
years
go
ago.
Escapade last year?
No.
I did.
You did.
I did.
Mhm.
No
Okay.
APs though.
No, I know. My
I
rule,
think it's a Canadian thing.
no.
We don't
No,
really
APs?
AP that
No,
much.
no,
after
no,
No, we
no, no,
do.
I
We
disagree with that.
In
do.
Toronto, my God.
I think the friends that I know, they'd rather like just go back and like.
Have you ever seen ticket prices for Day 3 Rebel? After,
Oh my God.
after
Yeah.
Oh well,
Rebel?
that
my
for
gosh.
Veld, but there's I don't know. Veld's a little different. I don't know.
Nah, people. If there's one thing I learned in Toronto, people love to party.
I
Yeah.
think day
Yeah.
three Veld after party last year was at Rebel, and I was there for Martin Garrix, and it was like, okay, I shouldn't say this, but I wouldn't say it, but it's like, oh, it was like a bunch of people sitting outside in like the smoking area, and it was like everybody was just like,
Zooted.
it's like a concentration, like.
Well, it's also Day 3. Everyone goes
Yeah.
ham on
No,
day 3.
no. Everybody, like, I saw that was pretty, like, sober, but we were just sitting because it was just so hot in there, and there
Yeah.
were people visiting from other places, right? And people would rather be just sitting outside and, like
Mhm.
doing nothing.
It's also, you know what I relate that to? It's also like, you ever get to a point, especially with a long festival, where by Day 3, you're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, everybody was-
I'm okay just sitting here and watching this or listening it off to the side because
yeah.
I've got my weekend fill. This is
Mhm.
where my take is that like the perfect 3-day festivals is too much. 2
yeah.
days,
Oh,
2 days is the
Oh.
sweet spot.
Yeah.
my favorite are 4-day festivals.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We have a young one here.
I've done 4-day festivals and I know where you're coming, but man, at a certain point, if something goes wrong or weather happens, you're just like, I'm
Mhm.
Yeah.
toast.
Well,
I'm surprised you didn't have that at Electric Forest.
No, it was the friends on the community. So Electric Forest did it for me. I was like, it was rained out both days,
Yeah.
day 3, day 4. But I was like, this is the best festival ever because I was in Good Life. I did like Electric Avenue, and there was we had like power bars and stuff in our like tents.
Mhm.
Like they were better tents. I don't know if it's appropriate to call it teepees, but they were like teepee shaped. Yeah, it rained out, and essentially I lived in the backyard of the festival. So like you'd walk in and out, and there'd be happy hour like for Good Life, and it's for free. Well, free. And you'd go in to get happy hour, go back out, and then get ready when you're like kind of like tipsy. Yeah. So
Like I do like camping festivals for that because I've said this before, you never leave the festival vibe.
Yeah.
So like whenever like have you camped before?
Yeah, the gorge.
Oh, the cool.
Oh,
okay.
that
it
that's-
wasn't a rainy year, right?
No.
I want to hear your
Yes.
your take on the gorge because it's on my bucket list venue and I'm surprised.
Game changer.
I'm planning to go to Base Canyon this year, maybe. Yeah.
You
Okay.
should. It's so beautiful.
What
like
did you do?
I did group therapy.
Oh,
that's
Arjuna.
what I would have gone to. Like essentially, if I wanted to go to any camping at the gorge, it would be for that.
It was great. I went solo. Funny enough, my sister was supposed to go with me and she bailed, and I was like, I knew Parvesh, and I was like, yo.
Who doesn't know Pravesh? Shut up,
Yeah.
Pravesh. Shut up,
I-
Pravesh.
I
Who
met
doesn't
him
know him?
once
Yeah.
before, and I was like, yo, I know you're going. Do you have friends? And he's like, yeah, these friends have an extra spot. So I ended up going with them, and now I party with them all the time. They were from like New York, Vancouver,
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah.
And you literally wake up, there's music, there's after parties, there's pre-parties,
Yeah,
like
that's
Simon
everything.
Dottie.
Were you prepared for camping though? Like were you?
Yeah.
Guys, like when you guys were playing, you had all the equipment and everything.
Luckily, the people I went with were prepared.
Okay,
So I
okay.
just showed up with my backpack, my
That's like me. I
literally,
necessity.
I was
I'm
I'm
there.
like, I need to be so. If you haven't watched it, watch our camping episode with Ian because we go through tips and tricks on how to survive a camping festival. One of the good tips is find someone who knows what
Exactly.
they're doing and just piggyback.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I rely on my friend Ian to do everything
Yeah.
on like utensils, everything. I'm like, I'll just bring my bag, my clothes, and
Yeah.
I'll drive.
Yeah.
I'll drive. I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
drive.
Your contribution,
I
right?
I
Yeah.
literally showed up at EF as well because my friends who were organizing were all like 4 to 5 in the forest. So the Excel sheets were up, the payments were
Mhm.
made. Like we did everything. They rolled in all like the canopies. We had ice making machine. Like we
wow.
had 4 box fans in each tent. Like everything was organized, and we were like cutting up watermelons. It was a little village for a few days. I loved it. So yeah,
Yeah, as your camping experience gets elevated by all that.
No,
Yeah.
that, yeah.
yeah.
And if
But
you,
I also did 4-day festival without. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
you actually have to leave the venue, go back to your hotel, and come back.
How was
Yeah,
that?
Which
it
one was
was
that?
Yeah.
Luminosity.
Oh, Luminosity.
nice. Yeah.
But
It
did you
was-
like Lumi like that?
I
4
Lumi
days?
was 4 days. It was good, and like I mean trance is.
I feel like
top
yeah,
there.
you're just chill. Like but
Yeah.
for trance in Europe events, it's more chill. So you're just like, okay, go home. Like,
Yeah.
But sometimes I went hard. But like
Yeah.
in the walking back scenario, it's just like it's dreadful because like
Yeah.
there's no much transport. You don't really ride. I don't have rented bicycles there. And then walking back like that 20 to 30-minute walk it's painful. A little bit, yeah. And then you
It's
go
tough
back.
after festival.
Yeah. When you go back at 12, and
Yeah.
you just have to sleep because like there's no. It's right near the beach side of Amsterdam. Sorry, Netherlands, right? Zandvoort beach, Zandvoort, and then there's nothing open at late night, so you just have to go home and sleep.
It's an
pretty
old person
much.
festival.
Yeah, you just go home and sleep. and
It's
the next
a
morning
pure
you-
So you're
trance
fine.
festival.
Yeah.
So,
So you're fine.
You're
Yeah.
fine.
average age is 40, so everyone's like, oh, 10 o'clock bedtime.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you wake. The minute you wake up, you just have to get ready and go again. It's like it's a never-ending cycle. But whereas in camping, when I did the Tomorrowland 4 days, which is like the gathering all the way up to Sunday, I felt like I had a lot more time
Yeah, because
to
you
to do things.
no
Mhm.
commuting,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, no commuting. No, then you have time to like eat. You even have time to shower and things like that.
Yeah.
Because like once Lumi, I went back, showered and sleep. It's already like 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning, and you're just like
Mhm. And
more and more gonged out.
And Arrpita is a good example for our solo raving episode because once again, you have the opportunities to meet wonderful people in our
Mhm.
community, right? And it's how best you make of it, right? Like
Yeah.
you could have canceled that trip.
I know. That year, I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. And honestly, some of my closest friends now from that trip. So
Mhm.
I think like I don't know, small. I think the Anjuna, the group therapy festival, isn't that small, but it's
How many days?
It was 4 days.
Oh.
Like yeah, so we went on the Thursday, yeah, or like Friday, and we came back on the Monday.
Yeah.
So it was 4 days, but I think solo festivals, like I don't know if I would go to EDC, for example, solo.
Yeah.
It's
it's a cost thing too, right? Like,
Yeah.
to do it. It's but the gorge makes sense.
It was.
Yeah.
It was
magical.
amazing.
That's essentially what
Yeah.
everyone says about the gorge.
I think Red Rocks is another really good venue,
Yeah.
but the Gorge for me is probably top tier because you sit there, you see the sunset, the sunrise with like-minded people, and everyone's just there to have a wonderful time. It's just so fluffy and nice.
So I want to mention this now because I mean in our growing North America, we're not going to bring so much into politics, but right now with what's going on in the States, you think your decision would change to go to the States right now, or how
It
would
hasn't for me.
that hasn't for you?
Not for me either.
A little nervous because there's a lot more fear mongering about like flight accidents. But
Mhm.
like I was reading online, like it's just reported more now,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe because of the like geopolitical climate, they're like doing so. But I was a little nervous going to Ultra. It turned out fine. Just like you just gotta be a little more cautious about like what you're speaking about and like what you're doing.
Our advice is it's there. So what's going on there does affect Canadians. Just be as prepared as possible for
Be
any
mindful.
questions and be
Yeah.
mindful.
Yeah.
Be cautious a
Yeah,
little.
be cautious, you know.
Yeah.
Stay alert.
And yeah, you should have a fun time though.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people have canceled vacation plans in the States because of that. And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
They are stricter at
Yeah.
the borders and stuff. But yeah.
It's also the support Canadians thing that a
Mhm.
lot of people are like gung ho about, which I mean, that should
Makes
be.
sense.
It should be
Yeah.
based on what's going on, right?
Yeah.
On a
So-
side note, flights are cheap now.
Flights are
Oh,
cheap.
really?
Yeah, flights are very cheap now. Yeah, they're doing a lot of deals.
Because a lot of routes that were planned are now getting canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
We won't go too much into this, but like you can see it all
I'm
online.
gonna start looking at the flights now.
Driving
well, you
through
work
isn't
for an
too
American
bad.
company too,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
that's also goes in.
Yeah.
So another thing we talked about more venues. We're at the 1 year review, 1 year of department finally opening up.
Oh, so I wanted to mention I didn't go to this because I was at Ultra, but my high school friends, some of them are casual ravers, and some of them they just like local events. But they went to the Passport event. I don't know.
Yeah, the Arm and
So-
Hammer Sunday one. Yeah.
I think we were there, right?
I was there. Yeah.
I think
So
we were there.
it's Arm and
You were there,
Hammer's
yeah.
what? It's Arm & Hammer's Tech House?
Yeah,
Tech House
their
Alias,
Tech
yes.
House Alias.
I was told they were playing a lot of trap.
No, it's just Tech House.
Oh.
I don't know. I left within. I didn't
Yeah.
even see them come on.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Why?
stayed
Sunday.
till
Okay, it was a long weekend. So we talked about this on the STS episode that we just released. And that was like day 5 for me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
fair.
good. I'm good. I was already here because we
Mm.
shot the episode.
Mhm.
And then I went with Ekern to go to department. And they were supposed to come on at 11. They didn't show up till like 11:45.
I think
Yeah.
it's also because
Oh.
he didn't have to pay for it. So this event, if you didn't know, it's Passport and it's
It was free.
It was
Because
It
they
was
played at
free.
Rebel the night before.
yeah. So it was free. Passport is Arm & Hammer's new alias.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Tech
techno,
House.
Yeah.
tech
House.
house. Yeah, so
It's to get them at a discount because they're already there.
Yeah, pretty much.
essentially that's what it is, right? I find it funny to when Slander does it too. They do their techno thing. I'm like, you're already here, and you're like, "I'll give us another like $2,000 and we'll do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing numbers
and
out
I think
there.
they're probably promoting their new alias too. So
But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love when artists branch out, but it's just funny the semantics of it.
yeah.
But it was a free party. It was really, but department has impressed me. Like a lot of people, if you haven't been, I
I
know
still
there's-
haven't been.
there's a stigma behind still Toy Box being
Yes.
there, but
Yes.
all the improvements they did make it more modern.
It's not that
And-
hot anymore, is it?
It's still
Is it?
okay.
Still
So,
hot.
Is
so
it?
rule is if it's sold out, it's still uncomfortable. It's still uncomfortable. It's better.
Okay.
But
In what
it's-
ways?
It's like you're not like drenched in sweat, but you're pretty warm when it is.
Toasty.
You're toasty.
You're,
Yeah.
you're toasty. So the ACs can only save it so much when it's sold out.
What about the sound? And
Oh, the
The
sound
sound's
is incredible.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing is that the sound now, the venue has been shifted more towards actually catering to more modern look, like
Mhm.
more EDM focus. I think that's what a lot of these local venues are doing. Like a couple of the normal like nightclubs, like AMPM.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
bit
Yeah,
more
the
of
lights.
a bit more of how they're doing it is more like visual.
Yeah, sound system, lasers, lights.
Yeah. So I mean, the events I've gone to at department that have been like even the like Passport, for example, great. Like honestly, just as a venue as itself, like pretty good.
Yeah, but Sunday night,
There was
Packed.
a lot of people though.
yeah, it was packed.
Yeah.
I think it was because it's free 99 and
Yeah,
people
it's
love Arm
free.
& Hammer.
But we went to that
And-
trance event earlier this year. Fantastic.
Which trans event?
The Ascent. When they
Oh
did
yes,
that.
yes.
It was like not as busy. Like essentially when it's like half full, it's great. How was you went to Habstrack? How was that?
Abstract was packed. I
Was
was
it packed?
actually fully expecting that Inc were to send that promotional email to say that free before 11, but it never came through. So I went and got a cheap ticket off TRC and it was packed. We went all the way to the back because we couldn't even squeeze into the middle. But then once Abstract came on, the crowd started clearing out a little by little because usually when we go to all these events, around 12 to 1 is the most packed,
Mhm.
right? And then after 1 it's always like starting to clear out, then you can like start squeezing into spaces and things like that. So at like around 1 when Abstract came out, it was not bad. I think for me it's kind of a mid set. Like I prefer chill over Abstract more.
Abstract?
Yeah.
I think that's where as what you said, like people started clearing out at like
Mm.
1, which is like surprising when the headliner's on. But I noticed that at Christoph when I went on as the recording like to the Friday, because I'm like, why'd they book it in the room 1 of McCormick? I'm like, I thought it was sold out.
Yeah.
They booked it in the smaller room, but I'm like, oh, realistically, it only got packed for like an hour. And then so many people left at like 1:32, and then it was fine. And for an open to close set, it was like really good. Have you been to department yet, Arrpita?
No.
Not yet?
No, not
Do you
yet.
still have horror stories from going?
Yeah. I
hate
did
Toy
not
Box.
'Cause
like
I-
Toy Box.
Or
I-
Union.
Oh, or you exactly. I did not.
Yeah, I
like
know.
it.
I know a
Oh.
lot of people still be like, I don't want to go back.
I
still.
threw up at Andrew Rayel one year, so I think it was I think that was still Union. Maybe
Yeah.
it was Toy Box.
Mm.
don't
I think
know.
for a lot of people, it's just getting out of the heat.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to suffer in there.
Yeah.
It's better.
It's
Maybe
a lot
this
better.
summer.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
maybe
I
NAP.
would suggest if you see a trans or a
Yeah.
Anjuna,
And June
yeah,
artists
yeah.
definitely go.
definitely go because
Yeah.
like there's not gonna be
It's the chill people.
it's the chill people and tickets are not sold out. And
Yeah.
you're gonna feel that it's cold. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so shout outs Inc. Great job on department. We love what you guys are doing there.
Mm.
More trance events, please.
Invite
Yeah.
us.
Yes, yes.
more
But still,
prog,
though.
more prog and trance.
But still though, if it is too packed, the water still drips from the ceiling. So just saying.
It's Okay, just book mid-tier artists and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Even mid-tier artists, like, okay, that time when Crank Dad came, he was considered like going up, but like I think he was around like bottom A tier and then like up.
Okay, but it still comes down to the rule. It was sold out.
Yeah, and it was sold out. Yeah.
So once again, advice: if department sells out, word of caution. That's all I will say. Word of caution.
And PS, Crank Dad is up there right now. So
yeah, Crank Dad is lit.
Yeah, Crank Dad is lit right now. So
next venue in question.
Another cool venue that got us viral marketing, the church, the Holy Trinity Church.
Yeah.
I really don't know about like if you're religious sinning at the church.
Well, as a raver, so let's talk about the church in general. As a raver, cool.
Yeah.
Raving inside of a
Yeah.
church, cool.
Yeah.
Like seeing those videos, amazing. So the first what was it? It was like just a couple of weeks ago. I think like in like mid-March, like March 23rd. Leanne Roberts, a hard techno DJ.
Leanne Roberts is good.
Yeah.
She got the opportunity to do 2 nights at the church. So Industry hosted it with Hollow, I think.
Yeah.
And they hosted that rave in the church for night 1 sold out. They did a night 2.
I think night 2 was almost sold out.
It was sold out too.
Yeah, it was sold out. Yeah,
It was sold out.
Honestly, I'm not religious at all, but like I think it baffles me that they like what if their patrons on the daytime found out? Like what do the pastors feel?
So
everybody found
that's
out.
essentially what happened.
Yeah.
So
everybody found out.
So give a preface to everyone
Everybody
listening.
found out.
Everyone listening. Like in our day and age, social media is everything. So everyone was posting videos. And then the videos started coming out. I guess this wasn't common knowledge that they were doing it because once again, it's an underground event. But seeing I know you went, Yikern, on day 1.
I went day 1.
He went and sinned.
But essentially,
I went and journalized.
Yeah. We
Hold on.
journalized. Document for our lovely community. But so all the videos started coming out, and then people in the general community of Toronto being like, "Oh, so they hosted a rave at the church? That seems kind of." Like you get mixed comments, right?
Yeah.
But as a raver, Pastor, the pastor that came out, she did come out and say like, they have repairs, major repairs. So this was a way, and this was a way to generate money and maybe bring some youth into the community, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's more of a religious thing. Hell no.
If they had to sin to repair the church, they would sin.
So this is
So I think
the pastor didn't say sin. He just say like, oh, it's a community welcome that people want to just have
That's
fun.
very
and-
diplomatic.
Yeah. You know?
Very PR.
they're renting out the space for the arts, essentially.
Yeah.
essentially that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's contributing to the arts.
But the arts kind of insinuates some sinning.
Yeah, I mean, the
Mhm.
stigmatism will always stick to it, but I feel like when I went there, it was something different because, like, as us ravers, anything outside of the club just feels like, wow, like I need to go here or something like that.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I would go too. I'm not religious at all, but like just thinking about like the sensitive part of this and like people who are like very devoted to their religion, like this is kind of a little icky.
So this is where the argument comes in. This is where I see it outside of being a raver, is that okay, I get it's for repairs, but you didn't really ask the community. But I also have an argument against that. Is that what if the community didn't donate enough to help keep the church funding? Because I look at it as for other religions, like using a gurdwara for like a Sikh or a mosque for like Muslims. I know how much those communities donate to those sacred places.
For them
This would not have been allowed
yeah,
at
yeah,
all in
yeah.
those. And they would have had to run it by the community 100% before they did that. So I think it's also a reflection on that community that goes to the church. Like, hey, maybe you should have helped the church a little bit more, right? For other events, because they can, they obviously host charity events and stuff to help donate for the church. It wasn't working. So they looked at other alternatives, right?
Mhm.
I mean, great success.
Great success.
I would like to go.
Well, there was as I was recording last night was Ben Clock at the church.
Yeah.
So Ben Clock is known for his Berghain sets, like very popular techno artist.
Berghain and the church.
And
Yeah.
the church
Yeah.
playing that style in it. And he was just here like I think it's like September too, sold out. And I think the word of mouth that it's like, oh, I can see another event at the church, caught wind.
Yeah.
It was just so cool seeing all those articles come out. And like you see these general like news outlets posting the hard techno. Like they're actually playing the music, and I'm just like, this is so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think they're gonna continue raving at the church?
I think
With
so.
the
Yeah.
money that comes in,
Yeah.
of course.
I think
Unless
so.
the community says
Yeah.
otherwise.
Unless the city says something.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I
a
think
sound thing.
I think that's what it. I don't like unless the city says something.
That's like a violation to religion or something.
But I mean, for the church, if it pays the bills,
Yeah.
It pays
Keep-
the bills.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
We shall check
it's
it out.
I think it's a very good marketing strategy in that sense because like now everybody knew about it. And now the pastor also said in that video, right? If you are interested to learn about our church, you can just come and then talk to me, you know? So it's just like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
marketing
okay,
W,
marketing.
like
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
marketing W for
Yeah.
the church and the
Pastor, can you come to one of these raves with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she did probably. I don't know. Who
she
knows?
probably stepped in.
She
Yeah.
probably was like praying in the back.
It was actually kind of cool because like when I went last the Lee and Roberts day one, right, walking towards that Holy Trinity Church, you just see that church. Right
You
the
know how many-
holiness.
right, as
You know
you're
how many
just
people
walking
post?
up.
I see posting videos of them walking into a church.
Yeah.
Once again, it markets itself. Like it markets itself. But it goes back to the what we talk about with casino. People doing vitamins in the
Mhm.
church. You know, people are doing it. You know, people that bathroom was probably abused.
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I get that like notion, and I can't tell ravers, hey, don't do vitamins in the church.
We can, but you know, it's up to your discretion.
Yeah, it's up to your
Mhm.
discretion.
But yes, the sound system quality inside.
Goes back to
It's good.
goes back to any venue can now be a good
Yeah.
venue,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
The sound quality system is very good, except for behind the DJ. Not so much, but right in front where you rave, fantastic. It was kind of funny because
Wait.
like people are dressed up as nuns, pastors, and
Oh
like,
my
Yeah.
god, that's so
And, like,
insensitive.
priests.
People theme. You know, it'd be funny if they do like a Halloween party. In
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I would be curious to see what comes out. on
So
that.
wait, I actually did not watch any or many videos of the church. Like, were they on like the altar, the podium? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then right behind the DJ was where the organs are and things like that. so-
that's actually crazy to me. Like,
Yeah.
I am like the least religious person you can ever find, and then that's crazy to me.
So that brings up another interesting question about what we're seeing for. So technically, was that like it wasn't a 360 rave, was it?
It was not. It was
But
not.
you could go behind the.
You
DJ.
could go behind the DJ.
Were there
yeah.
any like fixtures that were religious that were like around?
I mean,
that
it's
could be-
the entire.
I think it's the entire thing, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
your
No,
you
were
have
there,
your
like, any-
colorful
the-
glass panel on the window,
Talk
right?
about like
if you look at the
statues.
eyes, they're
Yeah.
looking at you.
Oh
I mean-
my gosh.
They follow you
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. They see you every move.
Yeah. So speaking of that, right now the trend is 360 sets.
Yeah,
Mhm.
anything that is unique that is not, it's more of an experience show. Wise, you have your 360 sets, you have your face to face, you have your 3B3s. What else?
So like, there's also the hybrids, as what you mentioned, like where you can go behind. Usually before, I know Rebel just tried this too. Usually you can go behind the DJ,
Mhm.
or like, oh sorry, you could do. In that case, you can go behind the DJ, but it's not 360. But then like places like
It's
the-
like groupie.
people like what is it, the Masonic Temple Concord Hall, like they're
Mhm.
doing actual 360s where the DJ is literally in the center and everyone's looking at them.
Yeah.
Rebel's trying that.
Rebel tried it,
too,
but
or-
what the feedback was, it was like a 225 degree. 'Cause-
It's a groupie thing.
so what
Yeah.
it was for Rebel, it was the people at the back had booths,
okay.
so not everyone was allowed in the back.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these venues, especially at McCormick, now you can go behind the DJ.
Yeah.
Some of the
Yeah.
venues let you go behind, but it's not really a 360 set.
Yeah.
But 360 is right now in the event we went to for Tempo. Shout out Tempo. Technically, it was a 360 event where you can go all around. There's a new concept too. Arrpita, have you done any of these 360 ones?
Yeah, so We Belong Here was, as they say, 360, but it was VIP for the little bit.
Where was the
behind.
venue?
Keyfront Park in Miami.
Bayfront?
Virginia Key.
Yeah, Virginia.
So it's
Key,
where that
sorry.
Ultra was the one year.
Yes,
Mm.
Virginia.
Oh,
Key.
the-
yes, yes,
And
yes.
Afterlife
one-
was there last year.
Mhm.
They did
The-
Afterlife
yeah.
there.
The ultra marathon.
Yes,
Yes,
the
yes,
5K,
yes.
the 5K
Yeah, yeah.
Ultra.
Yeah, It was there, yeah.
Ultra 5K. Yeah.
How was getting out of the venues? I know we'll talk a bit more. We'll talk about this now, I guess.
Yeah.
How was getting out of the venue?
So the good thing was you could actually pre-book an Uber.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah, for
Okay,
the
cool.
first night, but then the smarter part is to just
You
kind
can
of walk
always
out.
schedule Ubers though, no?
Second night they didn't let you do that. They were like, "Oh, sorry, you can't do that." So,
They caught wind.
yeah. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Just walk out a little, get out of the parking lot, go to the main road, and then get out.
But it's obviously not as crowded as
100%.
Ultra,
It was.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
was not. No.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
good vibes at that festival. So that's We
Yeah.
Belong Here. It was in Miami a couple weeks before Ultra.
Yes,
And Ultra has that radius clause, so I think everyone who played that festival was not playing at Ultra.
that's correct.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's usually how it works out for a lot
Who
of.
did you see?
I saw Prids, Yato, Christoph, Lane 8.
Okay, all your favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
big
Yeah,
names.
It was.
Essentially,
I feel like it
Prague
was
heaven.
curated
Prague heaven.
for
Prague heaven.
us. Yeah.
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 But, yeah.
And you get a good vibe crowd. So definitely, if you don't want to go Ultra and you
2
want to go
hours.
Miami still,
2 hours every DJ.
Oh wow!
Mhm.
But
No.
those sets gotta be like
once
yeah,
again,
usually.
I think it's every year they've been doing it now. And
Mhm.
so if you don't want to go Ultra, but you still want to go Miami in March, good festival to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was March, right?
Yep.
Beginning of March.
First weekend, March. No rain. Great weather.
Oh yeah, March in
Yeah.
Miami is so good. It's
Yeah.
like room temperature.
Yeah.
Like and then a slight breeze. But yeah.
Except for Ultra weekend.
Except for Ultra weekend. We'll talk a bit more about Ultra later on in the episode. So one thing I think we've probably talked about this before, but the amount of phone thefts right now is getting to
Monumental.
it's getting to a crisis point at a certain point. Like it's actually like I went to McCormick a couple weeks ago for Stephen Bodson, and the security was telling us that, hey, be careful, there's a ring stealing phone. And then I was reading reports on like TRC saying like 26 phones were stolen that night. And
But-
they were warning everyone entering the venue.
So why can't you just stop those people that are stealing the phones?
So
Like,
this goes back to I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this, and let us know in the comments what you guys think. But I heard Grand Bazaar in one of the recent ones, someone went up to security and say, hey, multiple people's phones got stolen, and they were searching everyone on the way out. And there's a video
Did
right
they
now.
find the
I don't
theft?
think so. I didn't see any confirmation. But another thing is there's videos of Ultra that just happened where at Factory Town the final day they were checking every bag on the way out too.
Mhm.
I don't remember if they checked it or not.
I don't. The only
There was a
problem
video.
there's a
Yeah.
video that's circulating on the web that they were checking like they
Yeah,
were
I
just-
did see that. I was there the last day, but I don't think they checked my phone. My bag. It was raining, and we
on the
left-
way out.
Yeah, it was like drizzling for like an hour, like a few hours.
They
last
they
few
might have
hours.
stopped it too because
Yeah.
you can't have people in the rain.
So like, and we left because it ends at 7 a.m. Right? We left at like 6. So
Mm.
yeah,
But yeah, I
I think
don't,
that's a good idea, but it just costs more time, more manpower. But I think it's a good due diligence
To
for
check,
the establishment.
I think with our scene, and I want more people to do this. Like I want
Mhm.
venues to do this because I think there's also the hesitation from some people is that they might find my like
Yeah.
people always
I
stash
mean-
stuff and then all of a sudden it's in their main
I
pocket.
mean, if you got a way to go in, you got a way to go out. Like,
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, some people will still have that notion, but like as I said, unless you're told, hey, we are not searching you for we're just checking your
Yeah.
bag. Like, but it's just like going to like
Yeah.
if you ever need an EMT at a festival, like you say you take too much, please go. They
Yeah.
do not care what you took.
Yeah.
They absolutely do not care.
Yeah,
And
but
you-
they want to know so
They
that they
want-
can treat you.
Yeah. So never be afraid to tell them what you took in case you're feeling ill at a festival because they will help you. That's what they're there to do. You're not going to get kicked out. You're not going to get reported. They're
Factory
literally-
Town's really good with this stuff. The staff there is really nice, but I want to shout out. I heard Phoenix has been like really horrible with security, so like it would never happen there. So
Yeah,
Phoenix here?
Yeah, Phoenix here.
Yeah.
yeah,
They've
there's-
always been notorious for terrible.
Mhm.
I
security.
was at the Jason Ross show about 2 years ago. I was actually I was verbally yelling at one of them because they were being so rude. But yeah,
Mhm.
So what do you guys think? Like, I like this phone checking thing. I've heard of also other comments of security walking through the CADs. Like, I'm all for this for as someone who goes out quite a bit and goes sober. So
Mhm.
like, I'm all for this because if you have security walking through, then it goes. But it also comes down to the question: they're going to compensate. Like, if you're doing something, vitamins, they're probably compensate it. So I don't know. But in terms of the phone thing, I think the one problem is that you're warning everyone, but there's no actual security in the middle of the floor. And they are very crafty these days to steal your phone.
Yeah, they come in teams.
They come in teams.
Yeah.
they'll wait for an opportunity where you're turned to your right talking to someone. It happened to a friend of mine literally 2 weeks ago at McCormick too. And literally she turned to me to talk and someone just brushed by and they actually got her phone, but she noticed right away. And then all of a sudden she confronted and then it's just like they're looking on the floor and they dropped on the floor and they walked away. So
Wow.
we told security, hey, this happened, and they stopped them, but they didn't do anything about it. And they had the attitude of, like, I'm just going to leave. And they just brushed through and like, you can't stop me. And they just left.
Was it from like her fanny pack or?
They had like a clutch bag. So I don't know
Oh.
how many they had or if they even had any. But
Wow.
it's kind of like they had that rude attitude, like, oh, you can't search me. You're not allowed. I don't know.
mean, technically you can because the space is private and like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's more like, I guess, at that point, whoever was there, it's like they haven't given permission to do that check from their higher authorities. So like sometimes jobs can be online, right? Like if
Yeah.
you search the wrong person and they report it out, you could potentially lose your job.
So
There's a
then-
whole bunch of factors into it, but
But then-
I like the search.
It kind of boils down to who's organizing the event. So
Yeah.
if more organizers are like, okay, here, maybe you should check it, then
Yeah, because the PSA is always at Rebel. Rebel was
Oh, Lord.
notorious
Yes, yeah.
for
oh
phone
yeah.
thefts. And I appreciate what they've done with the lockers.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people use them.
Are they free?
They're free.
Different, yeah.
They're free. But I think because nowadays we're in the age of social media, so everyone wants to record.
Yeah,
No
everybody wants to hold their phones.
No one's gonna put it in unless they have a burner phone.
Oh, it's a phone locker.
Yeah, I really don't know what else we can do other than everyone stick together and just be aware of everyone around you.
They need to start checking people when you exit.
I think that's the easiest way. and
but
I'm
I
all
feel
for
like
that.
security personnel would be like, God damn it, they want to go home, you know?
Well,
I mean, they
the-
cannot really leave until everything's just done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Shout out to Phoenix concert hall with all those security like yelling at people to leave. They're so rude. Yeah,
Is that a good shout out or a bad shout out?
it's a good shout out for them to kind of reflect on their behavior.
Hope you're listening to this.
But
It's
yeah.
about growth and development.
For everyone, just final things on this one. Get a like clutch loop, any lanyard, just
Yeah.
attach your phone. Festival season is upon us. Shows
Yeah.
are still happening. You never know. You just never know. Or, as what we say, death grip your phone.
I am death grip plus
I-
clutch loop.
I
so-
literally
Mm.
death grip my phone, and I literally always have my hand on my pocket
Yeah.
as I'm in the crowd.
But I sometimes swing my clutch loop. Like I let it hang on my backpack.
Yeah.
See, I
It's
don't
kinda
even
swing.
like that.
I don't even like that.
I don't even
Yeah.
like doing that because I just don't want it because what if they cut it? I think it's
Yeah.
easier for me to just make sure my hand is there
Yeah.
and be aware of what's there. Another thing is like get a phone case that has like ridges
Mhm.
so you know when something's like rubbing out of your pocket. Because a lot of people, I'm surprised,
My
don't
phone is
car-
huge.
Don't
so-
carry cases,
Yeah.
and like these phones these days, they're all aluminum or titanium back,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
slip
so
out.
smooth and like it'll just like you won't even
Oh,
notice it's
I
gone.
always have a weird ass case on it. so.
Or carry an iPhone 11 like me. So
Carry
whatever.
what?
An
I-
Do they
iPhone
not
11.
take the 11?
Nobody's gonna take it. It's
Oh,
so
yeah,
old.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
they take anything.
They
Like
take
they
anything,
see
yeah.
they see
Well,
the shape and then they're gonna be like,
In,
Man.
in Arrpita's case, it's kind of like, oh, you can steal it. I don't care.
Yeah, here you go.
I literally had that as I just upgraded my phone too.
I
and
have-
and I was literally like, if someone stole it, I'd be totally fine.
Yeah.
So with the geopolitical climate in the States right now, and also like the phone theft in general, like a lot of online, I've been hearing a lot of people are like, bring burner phones, bring like an extra phone.
I think it's a good idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
It really, once again, comes back to do you want to record or not?
Mm-hmm.
I know people who never record anything at any festival.
Times me.
Yeah, right. And like
Yeah.
for you, a burner phone is perfect.
Yeah.
And like in our case, as a social media platform
Yeah.
too,
I can't. No.
we kind of have to post
Yeah,
videos,
yeah.
so it makes it. I mean, but even before that, I was still recording videos.
Yeah.
As I said, just be aware, hyper aware. Moving on to some more specific topics. We have the return of Grizz. I don't know. I know. Christine, you know Grizz. I
Yeah.
don't know how much. I don't know how much.
But
I don't
he
know
had like a
much.
whole exit like
Yeah.
a year and a half ago. Honestly, I didn't think it was that long, in my opinion, because sometimes DJs go on hiatus for like 3, 4, 5 years,
Yeah.
and he came back in a year and a half, which is great. Like happy he's back and happy like he feels great to be back. But like it didn't really seem like much because it was basically one festival season,
Mhm.
and there's so many.
It was actually a year and a
DJs.
half, which is kind of like, but like
Yeah.
Not really.
You know, there's so many DJs out there. So then, like, you know, it was
you
like
can
a
say
blink.
Skrillex did the same thing where he just doesn't do anything and then
Yeah.
he just releases something.
Yeah, it's just a blink of an eye and he's back. And I'm like, it's like he never took a hiatus. But it was quite a big exit because he had like the whole, like, he wrote out a whole thing and then he had an album and then he had like a whole like voice message. And it was like it like touched a lot of people. So, yeah, the festival coming up.
Yeah, so he came back. He announced the festival
What's it
in
called?
October. Grizzfest. I don't know. I actually don't know off the top of my head.
I mean, so many DJs are having their own festivals now because they know they can milk a festival.
and before we
Yeah.
go into it, you haven't heard of Grizz, right? You can.
No.
You haven't
Bong,
listened.
bong,
Arrpita, have you?
bong,
Not
bong,
really.
bong,
Okay,
bong, bong.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know that?
Probably, yeah,
No,
but
it-
no,
It's
Yeah.
very
never seen
niche.
one.
It's
Yeah.
like more funky. He sometimes bring live elements.
He has a really famous collab with Subtronics. There was a part 1 and part 2, Grizztronics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
you
haven't
gotta-
seen him though.
Hmm?
I haven't seen him.
You haven't seen him.
No.
Okay.
I don't remember if I've seen him or not.
No.
But no, I guarantee you for like the EDM tunes, everyone's was talking.
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
a common topic. Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's back. But once again, another problem with our community and in general is ticket sales and resales. That shit sold out so quick.
Where is it?
There's a funny reel that I'm gonna mention that I think Stage Hoppers did, where we can all relate to that. You ever tell people about your vacation that aren't ravers and be like,
Oh,
oh,
the real
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, where are you going for your birthday?
Tacoma, Washington.
Oh, Tacoma, Washington. It's like, no, it's fun. Don't worry, it's fun. I'm going. It's just
Yeah.
like, everyone thinks, oh, I'm gonna go to like Montreal, LA.
And they're going to the gorge. What's the gorge? It's like 3 hours west of Seattle in the middle of nowhere.
Mm.
Oh yeah, you're going.
Yeah.
I have my booking for like September. Where are you
Rothbury.
going? Oh, I'm going to Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
From
Well,
Austin.
actually, not Columbus. I'm driving out like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
It's called Legend Valley.
you're going to Thornville, Ohio, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of flat land.
Have you guys ever had stories like that where you tell coworkers that, oh, I'm going here, and they're like, what? Why?
I
Oh,
just,
yeah.
No, I just tell them I'm going to a music event.
Oh, what location was that for you?
The gorge.
Oh, was it Gorge? When
yeah.
you told people
oh
the
yeah.
Gorge,
I was like,
it's like,
oh, I'm going to Seattle, a little close to there. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
But same as you. I usually say I'm going to a music event because they do know that I really like to go to shows, so it kind of helps. But I'm
Mhm.
like, that's all you need to know.
yeah, I had that recently with I went to State of Trance in Rotterdam,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, coworkers were asking me, where are you going? I'm going to Rotterdam in February. I'm going for music. Oh, okay, yeah. It's just like when you tell people like, who the hell's traveling to Rotterdam in February when it's cold here, it's cold there. And funny thing, our flight was like empty.
I had a conversation with my team and with one of like the more like one of the managers in my team, and then I was like, yeah, I was also in Miami last week, and then they're like, and then she was like, oh, for Music Week, and I'm like, yeah, but I didn't really want to tell my like the management level. But she knew what was going on. So I was like, yeah, I'm going there. But
And
yeah,
do a little top up for
It is more, I guess, popular now.
Mhm.
Like recently we covered a article about a study that was done on people over 50 years old, and
Mhm.
1 out of 10 of those 600 people, their favorite genre is EDM.
Interesting.
So I feel like it's
Mm.
just getting out there a lot more, but more like Avicii, Daft Punk, like
Was it what about genres? Did that article have anything about genres? Because we find like there's certain genres that attract the older crowd, like the Anjuna prog crowd.
yeah.
Definitely brings out some of the older ones. Then drum and bass, some jungle
Mhm,
music.
mhm.
Like it's back in the day. So a lot of like old heads come out, trance in general.
Yeah. Trance.
Not
for
so much
sure.
dubstep.
I think
Dubstep brings
that-
out the
It's getting
kids.
there.
I think I think they finally feel that it's okay to be like listening to music at the like that age and coming out to these events. There's a lot of like more mature ravers now, and it's less stigmatized, and like the community is very like inclusive of like all
I mean,
ages.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
legal.
I mean,
But-
just talking about it, because like if you think about it, our generation right now is just listening to a lot of EDM.
Mhm.
20 years from now, when we have kids and things like that, I hope. But we are going to be that generation who likes EDM at the OH.
Oh my
so-
god, is there gonna be like retirement festivals?
Oh,
Like
probably.
Oh no, there's a funny.
That should just be a retirement home, just
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
festivals.
no festivals for like 55 plus or something,
No,
60 plus.
There's another funny. I think it was Scarlet Vesper Raves.
Uh.
She had a meme out there saying like, telling her she's like dressed old. Oh, you want to hear what kids in my day listen to?
And
She
it's,
put
like,
on the
weird,
Ooh-
like-
Ooh Ya Cat song, and then she's just like, it's just like, Think about it. Think about it. You're gonna be telling like
Yeah.
your future generation and be like, "Oh, this is the song I listened to."
I saw, I don't know if it was in our chats recently. I saw there was like a grandma that's like 105 and she wanted to throw a rave for her birthday.
I saw.
And I think it was at her retirement home, right?
Where else were you gonna do it?
I don't
Most
know.
lit place.
In the park. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a brand new business idea. Open up a retirement home, and every night there's a rave at the assembly hall of a retirement home. So then everyone just comes out and
Day parties. That's
I
how
feel
that's how you start
Day
day parties.
parties.
Yeah.
Day parties. That's how you bring back day parties.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just started in a retirement home.
Oh my god.
We need more day parties. We're all getting old. We need more day parties.
Yeah.
I want to go home by like 10.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
true.
But yeah, just rounding out the Grizz thing. So it sold out quick. We have an epidemic of people buying for resale. I don't know what more you can do about it.
I also know the buying, like other than scalping, I notice a thing, especially with my friends in the States. I notice people that buy everything and then just sell it later. And you know why? It's because they want to get status on their Amex or like they're just
You can-
buying.
There's so much strategy. There's
Like-
that too, and also it's sometimes just cheaper to buy it and then resell it. And
No,
like
but it's a
you're
lot
getting-
of work, right?
It's a lot of work, but I mean, if you go by market value, sometimes you're getting paid not to go, which is kind of
No,
wild to think
but
about.
all that work is getting like into like Amex Lounge Centurion status, getting status
That
and
is
like
very
bringing your
smart.
friends in.
Yeah.
And like like I know friends that are doing that, and I notice a bunch of people are doing these things for that. So it's
I mean, the churning world is insane for credit cards, and I know rewards in the States, especially if some of the, or it's even better than here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like they get like hundreds of thousands of points just for like like spending this much on this time, and 100,000 points gets you like a free flight to like Europe.
Yeah, pretty
right?
much.
It's actually like insane. So, but yeah, problem with reselling. Try to be fair with people if you're reselling tickets.
there's a SoCal rave group, Facebook group called Rave Exchange, and they have specific rules of like you can't sell over 1.5 times the price, or else you'll be booted out of the group. So like a lot of our tickets have been sourced over there. Like for example, Lost Lands, like it was such a bad market for like ticket resales this past year, 2024. My friends ended up finding a bunch of tickets through like the Californian Facebook group. And then I think I know New York for buying, selling rave tickets, BSRT for New York. I think they're also starting to implement that, or like you have to state the price when you're selling it. So there's that.
I really like Go Confirm for Toronto.
Yeah.
Just because it's just another way for verification.
Mhm.
The resale market's still there. People still oversell as what you can. You can still do SubHub. You can still do Ticketmaster for certain events. But just having Go Confirm just eliminates that. Are you a scalper type of thing? At least I find, because it's very easy to call out someone who you may use Go
No,
Confirm.
not scalper, scammer.
Scammer. Sorry,
yeah.
scammer. But it's very easy to call out someone who's a scammer, especially if they use Go Confirm, because they verified their identity essentially.
Yeah.
You don't have
You have to
someone-
put your driver's license or something.
Yeah, you have
right?
to put like a form
yeah.
of ID. So like it just eliminates that one barrier, which is very nice.
But you can still have an ID and still scam. So just still be careful out there. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of scammers, guess who's back? Fire Festival.
Oh,
I'm just gonna label it as a scam right now, but
You
the-
think it's a scam?
apparently it's not even approved. So
Mm.
for those of you guys don't know, Fire Festival, well known, documented, many memes out there. Guy got even jail time for it. Essentially hosted his first festival destination.
What island was it?
I don't even
Some
Somewhere around Mexico.
somewhere around Mexico.
Yeah.
Um,
Coast of Mexico.
and it was an utter disaster for what was provided, for what it was. And then apparently after he got out of jail, I don't know the full thing, he's like, oh, I'm gonna do a Fire Festival too. His ticket sales, like some of the highest packages were like almost $1 million.
It is $1 million.
Was it $1 million? For
Yeah.
one of
Did
the highest
people
pack-
buy it?
Oh, who knows?
Apparently there were ticket sales. So, and then the Mexico government saying out, oh, you don't have permission to do this. Like no one actually, the site he was gonna use or the venue didn't have permission to do this.
Mhm.
I don't even know how he
But
does
did
it.
the site
No,
say
there
yes
was
to
no.
it?
There was no. He tried to apply, I believe, and then like people tried to look up what kind of festivals are going to be held in that area, and Fire Festival was not listed. So then it would.
Wait, and
be-
he renamed it Fire, or he named
it's
it Fire
Fire
again.
Festival 2.0,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Fire Festival 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the the most premium package was like, I booked the flight for you. You have the boat party. You have like transport
It's
from
like
the
1.2
airplane.
million or something.
It's
Yeah,
all
it was
it's like ChatGPT giving you ideas.
So
Like,
this is all. I think this Mexico, like them coming out and saying it, and it's like, oh, ticket holders will be notified very soon. It's just like, what?
Who bought them again? Like,
I don't know.
who? I
I will shame you if you bought one of those tickets, because there's so much better out there than that festival, especially with the history. Unless you want to be part of history, then I can't stop you. If you really want to be part of history, then I mean, power to you.
I think it's also the past of what he did with First Fire Festival, because like I remember when EDC Thailand was announced and people were pretty skeptical that it was not going to happen, but it still did. So,
Yeah.
and like there was like, when the website showed up, there was nothing. There was no information. There was no how to get there and things like that. It was like so disorganized, but then it still happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows? Maybe Fire Festival 2 will be a hit, but who knows?
It's not gonna happen. I think it's dead, and you may not see your money back. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see the developments on that. That'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
But as you just mentioned, EDC Thailand.
Yeah.
Right now, what's popping off is Thailand. It's actually like in general, Southeast Asia right now is the hotspot for EDM stuff,
raves.
Mhm.
raves in general. For EDMTunes, did anyone go to any of these festivals recently?
not the EDC in Asia,
Mm-hmm.
but we hope to.
Okay. Oh,
Hopefully.
I think it's like essentially year one. There's a festival happening this one. The water festival is happening this one.
Songkran.
Songkran. Yeah.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna butcher that.
Yeah,
thank
Songkran.
God I had these guys here. I was totally gonna butcher that.
Mhm.
But yeah, like that's happening this weekend too, and like just the scale of these festivals is massive.
Yeah. And then summer, you have a lot more in China and Hong Kong.
What,
Yeah.
didn't Creamfields get canceled? Hong Kong?
Creamfields,
Yeah.
Hong Kong got canceled. But EDC China happened, I think.
EDC China has been
mean,
happening for a while now.
Yeah.
The mainlanders love big room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lineups. If you ever want to go down the rabbit hole, just look at all these like Asian festivals and their
Martin
lineups.
Garrix,
It's
Alan
actually
Walker,
like
Hardwell.
it's actually hilarious, because I'm like, man, it's like let's just throw everything in a pot and stir it up and then put everyone on one stage. And it's
Yeah,
just like,
pretty much.
It's
Yeah.
just like, huh? But I will say, we live on the wrong continent. I know I do. Because if I should be in Europe, I should be in Southeast Asia. Because in Europe,
Not wrong
they listen
continent,
to,
wrong country.
essentially,
Yeah.
wrong continent in this
Yeah.
case. But like Europe is like, I listen to everything techno and all that stuff. And then Southeast Asia, what do they love the most? Hardstyle and trance. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
you gotta give like Canada some credit. Like Toronto nowadays, the scene is popping. It's
It
just
is.
that there are just way too many tech houses.
Oh well,
Just too many.
We will
pod is
argue
very
with anyone.
snobby.
We will argue with anyone who says there's not enough tech house in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah,
Like,
Every
this is
DJ
way too many.
Your boy around the corner plays tech house. You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, the nice thing about Toronto is the niche genres are surviving. Like I said, like the Injuna, the Prague. We got Oz always hosting great events, keeping the like the niche genres alive. I know Nick Warren just happened at a new
Yeah.
venue, which I heard great reviews of. Worldwide, Simon Patterson Askew was booked, which
Mhm.
has only happened in LA and UK, and now Toronto's
Toronto,
the,
yeah.
Toronto's
yeah.
the third destination. Once
Hopefully,
again, very
Simon
underground.
Patterson can make it this time. I
Yeah.
do want to see him.
I think he will.
Yes.
He's had visa issues.
Yeah.
Coming
And
into
Visa
You're sick.
issue and being sick, but yeah, I hope he can come.
yeah. But yeah, Southeast Asia is popping. I really want to go to a festival next year there.
In Southeast Asia,
Yeah.
do it.
I want to.
Yeah.
Maybe EDC Thailand. We'll see.
Thailand.
Ultra had a Ultra Singapore one year, right? Was it?
Yeah.
That was
Couple of years ago,
That was
yeah.
years
Many
ago.
years
I
ago.
think it recently is popping off more because I know like we talk about Thailand more because I think the government's involved to try and bring tourism there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like anyone bringing in government grants are like, hey, you host this and we'll give you. Who's gonna say no, right? That's why a lot of people compare our art scene to Montreal. Montreal, the Quebec government actually supports the arts a lot more than Toronto, from what I've known. That's why like you look at some of these prices in Montreal for tickets, like and they're like half. And you're
Yeah.
like, how is it half? Because they're getting a kickback from that. They can reduce the ticket prices.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. Speaking of that, so we're not gonna go through the lineups, but there's been a bunch of major festival lineups that have happened the last couple of months. We had Tomorrowland with their Orbs.
Or Orbis.
Orbis.
This is this year's theme. And they also announced Sphere
Yes.
with Insomniac. So big deal. And when they announced the first 2 days, oh, was it a day? No, it was first 2 days. And they saw how fast the ticket was sold out, and they immediately announced the next 4 after that.
But you know what? It's good you mentioned the Sphere, because also what's happened in the last couple of months since our last news one is the Sphere shows happening.
Yeah.
Which, once again, viral marketing, big success. Big success. Did you have any inkling to want to go?
For
The Sphere?
So I did go day 1.
Oh yeah, you went day 1.
Yep, day
Yeah.
1 Anima.
Well, okay, what convinced you to go?
The hype.
Honestly, so I like Anima, but if you asked me, I wouldn't have been like my day 1 choice, but it was just going with friends. And honestly, I think it was one of the most amazing experiences. Just the whole idea of a sphere, right? Like the all
The
around
view.
you, the view, just sitting there, and like we sat up. We weren't on floor. We were on, I think, 300 level.
Mhm.
I don't even remember,
Oh,
300,
so,
400.
yeah.
But it was amazing because I could sit, I could see everything, I could stand. I was a little afraid I would probably topple
Oh,
over,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that was
That
none of
version,
that. Yeah.
we had that too. Like for those guys probably know, we have a Sphere episode, all things Sphere, and we got the tips and tricks on like where to sit. But like that whole like your seats vibrating too, and you're just like, oh, like it's just an immersive experience. I don't think
Yeah.
people. So like them doing that tomorrow, like, when that viral stuff came out, saying, oh shit, this is happening. Then how social media is. It's like,
Yeah.
what are they doing? What are they doing? And then all of a sudden, the moment that Sphere eye emoji came out, or like the Sphere thing, and the comments, it's like, okay, this makes perfect sense that you're gonna do something at the Sphere, because it's like a low risk partnership. I
Yeah.
find
Mhm.
They're doing the symphony.
they're gonna do the
The
symphony,
symphony.
but
Yeah.
there's gonna be DJs too.
Yeah.
So that's obviously the announcement's still coming. Which DJs are gonna be there, but they are doing DJs there. So, but I
I'm
mean, the
inclined to go
symphony
into
at the
that,
Sphere,
but-
it's like perfect.
Yeah,
Do you want to go?
maybe.
Okay.
I think that would be more my jam.
Okay. Yeah.
The instruments and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've been to Tomorrowland, right? And you've done the orchestra.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stood there.
That's
and
what these guys
think
saying.
it
I
was
have
like-
to see it.
You have
Yeah.
to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a once in a lifetime thing, but like if this year I'm going back to Tomorrowland, I'll probably gonna be at that stage again.
Yeah.
For the orchestra. And it only happens on one day out of the 3, so you have to go.
For the 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already paying out your nose just to go there, so might as well,
Yeah. As I said, really cool. But it's good you mentioned the Sphere. As I said,
Mhm.
everything from the Sphere caused FOMO too, as what happened with our Beatrix on our
Yeah.
Sphere episode, who is not into that music at all, but the FOMO just
She got into it, a little into it after.
Oh, she did. She did.
Yeah.
I've heard she's coming to Cassian, so we'll
Oh,
see.
see.
We'll-
All roads lead to.
Techno.
All
Techno.
road leads to tech.
It took me
trance
9
and-
years. It took me 9 years, so
Yeah.
I got there. I'm here, but now I'm
It's all,
beyond.
it's all trance.
Yeah.
Even the prog house scene, trance. Low key trance. Oz started with trance.
Yeah.
If people remember,
Mm.
Osmosis started with trance. You just developed a sound. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. So we had the other couple of festival lineups. EDC finally dropped their lineup. Kinetic Metropolis. So I think the church is coming back, which is really one of probably the coolest. We talk about church a lot already on this episode, but one of the cathedral is I think what they call it. So it looks like a cathedral as the main stage.
Mm.
So the main design looks cool, and I know a lot of trance heads have been excited, but Tiesto's announcing an In Search of Sunrise set, which is old school
Trance.
Trance.
Let's
I
go.
think we have a mutual friend who's literally
Yeah.
he's literally looking at just going the final day for that
Where is
set
it?
and wants to sell his day 1 and
Wait,
2.
it's EDC.
Yeah,
Mhm.
EDC.
Oh,
yeah.
I decided to go last week. I never look at lineups
Okay,
anymore.
so
Day
you will
3.
record the entire thing for us.
Yeah.
Wait,
day
is this the
3,
closing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
day
it's
3
closing.
closing.
Oh my god, it's gonna be great. No more
Expect videos
Cascade
from
Redux.
Christine for us.
No
on
more
the podcast.
Cascade Redux. I did 2 years of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be day 3 closing. So
Yeah. For our what is it? Our techno house people, we got Arc lineups coming out.
I'm planning to do Arc Coast.
Yeah. That's a good like Arc for anyone. One wonderful festival weekend in North America is that weekend.
Chicago, you get to see Radius. You get to see the scene. of both, the techno house community, and you get to go to North Coast. So I'm doing North Coast for the second time this year because Seven Lions isn't really touring this year. He's mostly focusing on music apparently, and it's one of the festivals that he's on the lineup for this year. So yeah, and then I'm gonna go to Arc because I can't do too much of the regular stuff right now.
Arrpita, have you been to Arc?
No, I do want to go, but it's Labor Day weekend.
That's
I'm
the thing because we have EI the same weekend too.
But how are you gonna split your time with Arc and North
Last
Coast?
year I did Friday Arc and then Saturday, Sunday North Coast because last year was all Seven Lions was also playing, and I only care like usually nowadays on lineups because I've been raving for so long. I don't really look for lineups anymore. If it's like good enough traction and a lot of my friends are going, I'll just be like, yeah, I'll go. And then if Seven Lions is on the lineup, I check what day he's doing it. So probably I'll do Arc Friday again. But if the Sunday lineup's good, I'll probably do Sunday. But for sure, Saturday I'm doing North
And then
Coast.
with social media, that was also the day that the Great Asian Midwest Migration.
Yeah.
Essentially, it was it was all Sad Boy.
It
was literally all the heavy hitters that day. Like you had Set
the Sky into Dabin or Dabin into Set the Sky, and then we had Seven Lions into Illenium all at one stage. Yeah. So
Sad Boy Dream.
Yeah.
Sad Boy, Sad Girl Dream.
I was actually near the front, and there was a garbage can for some reason at the very front. So during Illenium, I stood on it, and I was just like, no shoulder rides needed. I hate shoulder rides. And then I'm just like watching the show near the very front on top of a garbage can. It was very fun.
That's true.
But yeah, that's and then we have Shambhala, like some bass festivals. Shambhala released their lineup.
Yeah, I should be going, but we shall see.
I will say for the whole support Canadian support, Shambhala for bass, one of the world premiere destinations.
Where Excision tests his sound.
Yeah, well, that was like previously, but like in terms of sound, all of them test their sound there. It's like production wise is insane, and the sound is top notch. A lot of these, and then Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza.
For the Lollapalooza in Chicago, also Chicago hotspot.
I think this June.
It's usually first week of
August.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends were thinking of going because a lot of us are K-poppers, and New Jeans is playing. New Jeans is playing. So
yeah. And then one of the ones we want to shout out is the World Pride Festival finally happening. Once again, Toronto is a big Pride community. It's happening in Washington D.C., one of the other hubs. We mentioned this we had a Pride episode last year with Victor. Shout out Victor. And we mentioned that this was happening. Now the lineup's out. It's fully in swing. So great for
this is a DJ lineup.
Yeah, like the lineup is the full festival is like catered towards the LGBT community.
So would it be more trance then?
It's more like upbeat, like disco. From what I saw in the lineup.
So like disco lines.
Yeah. Okay, it's like more like that. But
I wouldn't say disco lines, but disco music.
Disco, like
because I heard a lot of like there's a big LGBT like fan base for disco lines.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Check out our episode. We dive into all that, and once again, what we listen to nowadays was shaped by that community. So
you have to give respect to that. Yeah,
you have to give respect to that.
Movement Detroit.
I mean, it's part of the like your house techno thing. So like you got Movement in May, and then you have
that Detroit still?
Yes.
Okay.
Staple. Only a 4-hour drive from Toronto. 4 or 5 hours.
Take the train. The bus is fine too. It's so cheap.
But yeah, we didn't want to go through we didn't want to go through all these lineups. But also, we listening. Any surprises for lineups you guys saw? Anything cool for any of these in general? Anything on your end that you liked for lineup wise? Like in any
just
festival?
the Tiesto.
Other than Tiesto, that's why I mentioned Tiesto.
That's some crazy stuff.
But so like for a lot of these Tomorrowland big festivals, like drum and bass is still very much alive. We heard the resurgence of drum and bass from last year when Badadan dropped, right? And then the whole year was just all drum and bass. And then this year it still is. And we were talking about we had recorded a drum and bass episode a couple of weeks back, and I was just telling the people that a dubstep set, like a pure dubstep set, bass set, it's just nice up there. But then when you mix drum and bass, which modern artists now are doing, just makes the set a lot better. And like a lot of artists are incorporating that. And I tell these people, I think that the drum and bass genre is the end game, quote unquote, So like how
I
we
still
say
think techno.
yeah.
Still techno prog.
Yeah, I know. But then how we say like techno is all roads lead to techno, and then like trance classics only, and then drum and bass is the end game, because I feel like it's all the genres mash up together. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Drum and bass in the end game. All roads lead to techno. What was the other one? Trance classics only.
Trance
Hey,
classics, yeah.
we're making shirt on.
Progressive house is not dead.
Yes,
Yeah.
progressive house is not dead.
Trap is back.
Trap. So yeah, that covers a lot of the news, but we're gonna shift a bit more.
We need to
focus.
cover Arrpita. Yeah.
Yes, we need to shift more focus to our guests here, who we mentioned writes for EDMTunes. So we just want to know a little bit about that, and I guess tell our audience a little bit.
How'd you
Well,
come across the?
how'd you come across it?
Yeah.
Articles you guys have written, like just in general about EDMTunes, your
Yeah.
journey with them.
I've been writing for EDMTunes for now a little over 2.5 years. How I got into it, funny story. Anjuna and Lene, thank you for that. But I was literally standing in the Coda line waiting to go in to see Spencer Brown 2.5 years ago. Like basically when the clubs started to reopen post-COVID, and it was like the line at the back. I don't know if you guys remember when they hadn't opened the front of Coda yet. Like you had to line up at the back.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was standing there with my Lane 8 Red Rocks hoodie, and someone tapped me in the back, started chatting with me. We're good friends now, and his friend was moving to Toronto from New York, and he's like, can I get him in touch with you? He doesn't really know a lot of people in Toronto. I was like, sure. Turns out he owns EDMTunes. We became friends, and then he's like, do you want to give it a shot? I know you may not like writing, but try it out. I wrote a couple of pre-articles for them, and they were like, you know what? You can do it. Do it. So here we are.
Nice.
And if you ever do want to write for EDMTunes, hit me up, or we usually do look for writers, so you can go and see the website, and you can kind of just apply. And if you ever want to write, it's fun. We do it for fun. We're all, enjoy the music or play, or some of us.
It's another way of giving back, like how
Exactly.
we have this podcast, right?
Yeah.
For news. It's just like,
Yeah.
hey, I went to this event,
Yeah.
and I just want to share my thoughts and feedback about
Exactly.
it. So cool.
And it's a community all over the world, like,
And your focus as your favorite genre is like prog, progressive. And
Yeah.
Like Arjuna,
Yeah.
So like your focus has been more on articles like that. Or?
So yes and no, like mostly yes, of course. I use that platform, and I think I'll talk about my articles that I've written mostly are related to that, but we do, tend to cover other music news, lineups. So we tend to write about everything, and you should. But yeah, we all kind of have a little focus. So a lot of guys are into drum and bass, or I'm into Anjuna. So
yeah. Like you're not gonna write a dubstep article, especially like, oh, you might have you?
I don't think so. No,
It's not your wheelhouse, so it's kind of like
yeah. But I will say that like writing for this exposes me to a lot more than I would have generally. Because it's been around for so long, we do get to hear tracks earlier, a little like embargoed, and then you get to like listen to it and see what you think, and then write about it, pre-write about it, obviously release it when the track comes out. But it's really, really fun because something outside my day job.
Yeah.
Were there any like shocking moments, like any news that you found out beforehand and then it came out that you could share?
No, good question. Yeah, like, a couple of albums that got released, or like announcements that came out. Some of them we've heard before, like maybe like a Rufus album before they announce it. We kind of get like a little email being, by the way, or this album's gonna come out, but like don't say anything. So yeah, a lot
you
of
get
those.
some insider tips.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I mean, it's still cool to get
Yeah.
it. Like even for us locally, when we get those insider tips, it's like, oh,
It makes you feel really like
Like-
a little child, excited,
Mhm.
like, oh my God, this is so cool, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to share it. Yeah.
So how does it? Do you guys have like a massive group chat? Or how does it-
Yeah, we do. We do.
Is it muted?
No.
No comment.
No comment. No comment. No comment.
We do have a massive group chat, which we like communicate through on a daily basis, being like, oh, this is what I'm going to write about. And, it's fun. And a lot of them I've never actually met in person, but we all write together and it's fun.
You know what? It's still that community, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of times in the raving community, our guest Izzy on the last episode, she has a group chat that she met at like when she went to the Drum Code like beach festival in like Croatia, and literally it's just a bunch of people meeting, and she had that for movement. It's like you're not part of my daily life because you're far away, but we're still meeting up for festivals, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like it's still that camaraderie, which
Yeah.
is like really nice, especially like when you're chatting with them for like months and months, and then you finally get to meet them. I like to consider it like, remember in the gaming world when you have online, like back
Yeah,
then,
online
I
friends.
had
Yeah.
online friends. I did competitive gaming, and then meeting them in person first was like, well, nothing changed. We're literally just talking like how we did online in person.
Yeah.
It's like now you can just put a face to the name, which is like funny.
Yeah.
But it's really cool in that
Yeah.
aspect too. So any specific like articles like you want to talk about?
So obviously the ones I really, really am proud of or really have loved writing have been interviews that I've done
Mm-hmm.
for obviously artists that I really love. Like I think my first ever interview through EDMTunes was with Massane on This Never Happened. And it was
And how long ago was that? Because he's right now, his trajectory is like right now really high.
Yeah, it was, I think, to now maybe a year and a half ago. And it's funny because I was like, hey, I'm an EDMTunes writer. Can I like interview? And he's like, yeah, of course. So it was really fun. So I think those are something those are some I really like to write about. In terms of news, I think right now what we're really looking forward to is like the new Brooklyn Mirage. Supposed for the 10th year, and Awakening is coming down in September.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually the one that caused me a little FOMO. I'm like, ooh, Awakening's coming here.
Mhm.
That's massive. Because I've been to the festival in
Yeah.
Europe, and it's like a techno head, and they have house, but it's a techno head stream. In
Mhm.
terms of like not specific, like if you're looking for hard techno, they have some, but it's like in terms of everything techno, it covers everything techno.
Yeah.
September 20th.
Yeah, I'm really curious how they do it. But yeah, we mentioned on our last news episode, we had barely any I think that time it was like just announced that they were doing a revamp. There's been a lot of complaints with Brooklyn Lodge over the years. A lot of complaints, like bad complaints, like too crowded, the area is not safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people going missing, and then like the bodies being recovered.
Yeah. It's a very industrial area, so it's very sketchy to leave on your own because from the location too, like you could take the subway, but you have to walk like 15 minutes out through an industrial area, potentially at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the
Don't
morning.
go alone.
That's what I mean. Don't go alone, right?
I've never been there alone. It's always been a group. But yeah, opening May 1st, there's 2 shows for Sarah Landry. I believe most of them is pretty sold out. So.
Yeah, they've I think they've fully they're pretty much in full swing with their lineup, and they have a festival pass essentially where you
Yeah.
get it. But I haven't really heard much about the developments if it's actually gonna make it in time. We're only a couple weeks away.
Honestly, they have a good backing, so hopefully they can. And I mean, we've seen festival stages come up in 3 weeks, so hopefully they can still make the May 1 deadline.
Not the
I mean,
Izu one,
not the
which
Izu
they're
one.
I
Well,
also
know.
technically they're the owners.
yeah,
Like,
they
Yeah.
own that one. So
at RIP Izu. I don't know if we'll
I think they're trying to make it up by having that water festival now
which is very popular.
in
It's-
July.
Is it
no, it's
called
in
Histro?
September.
Oh,
It's
really?
the same long
Oh, September.
for the EDM world.
S2O.
Yeah, for the EDM world, the Labor Day long weekend is probably the most popping in the entire like North America. For like
Yeah.
more so the Northeast region, like
Mhm.
Chicago, Toronto too,
Mhm.
and New York.
New York.
All of them have the crazy festivals, which is like really cool. Anything else with EDMTunes? Any shout outs you want to do? EDMTunes?
Shout out to all my EDMTune editors. I love you guys.
Hit us up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
would you have changed your mind back then if the question popped up again? You would just still say yes to writing EDM tunes? Like any regrets per se? I mean,
think
I
if
didn't want to
there's
say
regrets, she would
regret.
leave.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say regrets, but like, yeah, I couldn't word the question
Anything
properly.
done differently. Or...
Yeah.
So if you asked me 2.5 years ago, I still wonder how I said yes to that because writing is not something I ever saw myself doing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to do it again, I would redo it all over again. And I think it like having a hobby like this to give back because you already like to be in the scene really helps me navigate my life.
And we resonated. It's just like the story I told
Yeah.
you of how the podcast started, which I've
Yeah.
said multiple times. It's like, well, Benny never turned to me at like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning and asked me. I wouldn't have never even thought about it, right?
Yeah.
And here we are today, bringing content for
Yeah.
everyone, being a presence in the community, which is like great.
I
Like,
think it's also pretty nice because like once you are raving, you are on the surface of things, and then once you dive into somewhat media related, you start scratching more into the surface, and you find that there are a lot of gold nuggets
Mhm.
everywhere. Yeah.
it's just being for any of this, like hosting events, just being nice, giving back to the scene. We're all ravers at heart.
Yeah.
It's just nice giving back to the scene in a certain way, which we all resonate. So I like the article is another way to do it, which is pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. It just makes me happy.
So yeah, just to round out some of the more news, is we're gonna focus a little bit more on the local stuff. Lots popping off in Toronto, guys. Like if you think no events are happening, you're literally living under a rock.
Yeah.
I am. I am living under the rock. Yeah.
So this is an education for Christine of all the happenings that are happening. In we had the first stop of Eric Pryd's show in Toronto, which like is more of his progressive, like Prida trancey.
And you went all 3 days.
I went all 3 days.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Worth it. Worth it. Worth it.
When was this?
This was early
January.
January.
Oh, right.
And right now he's still in the full swing of the tour, doing a lot of festival stops. Honestly, like I said, worth it. For me, it was worth it. It was like we even have a history 2025 ID, which is we have that out there in the world that he's playing at other places. So for those of you guys who don't know, Eric Prydz has a catalog of IDs that he'll never release. But whenever
what do you mean never? He will actually never release.
Probably never. Mainly for festival sets, mainly for like stuff he just like doesn't finish. He doesn't even release like current tunes. Like there hasn't been anything.
It's just Eric Prydz scraps.
But the community, just like with like they translate more towards the prog scene. Like the community there is very like Pridaholics Facebook group. They're so passionate. But it's just funny seeing like one of the like. So I have a couple IDs. It's just like when I name them off, people are like, "How do you know these?" I'm like, "I've been waiting to hear Echo Stage ID 02 for like years," and that's where he debuted it, which is like funny. But one of the crazy things, and I think this went viral, was he played "Call on Me" in Austin. Austin, you have been blessed because he has not played that in like 20 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he plays "Call on Me," and it's funny. There's like a picture out there where he's playing it. He's just like.
Yeah,
He's just,
that's what I was thinking.
He's just shrugging. He's just like,
yeah, let's
whatever.
go. Like, I feel like that's what I was thinking earlier. Like, that's exactly what he was doing. I didn't even watch the video, but I feel like a lot of these DJs have so many things in their vault, and then like all of us are just like, please play it. They're like looking forward to it.
I know
and he's just like,
that's a raver bad thing.
I
Is
feel
that when
like
you're
it.
looking for him to play that one song, like I had that with Ben Bomber, when I went to his history show. Yeah, and he ended up doing it where it's just like he released an album, but he played like 2 songs from the album, and the rest were just classics. And I'm like, okay, but you know, he knows personally that that's what a lot of people go for. So it's a lot of the artists on the prog scene are like,
you
that
know,
too.
so many people like these DJs know how much like some of these listeners want this one song or these songs, and then they're just like, someday they're just like, maybe it's even the wrong crowd too or wrong location. They'd be like,
it's also. But you know what? It also depends on the DJ. Like everyone knows Eric Prydz for his ID catalog, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Another good artist that you mentioned earlier, Spencer Brown, also known for his ID catalog with like
His scraps.
hundreds of songs. And you know when you go to a Spencer, it's like in the end for any artist too, it takes time to develop that. And we're not saying anyone should go that route. You definitely shouldn't go that route. But over time you could adapt to that route, and that's why like I went all 3 days Eric Prydz because. All 3 sets were different. I even made like a count of the songs he played more than once, and there was literally a maximum of like 4 songs.
Mhm.
Like we only got the history ID twice. We had a couple. I'm not gonna.
You should do a sound counter for our reels.
maybe.
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, I did that with Batadon. How many Batadons did we hear
Yeah.
in the one festival season? That was funny. Like I'm at Batadon 60. But yeah, he also announced the Holosphere at Ibiza. So. Holosphere is back, which is amazing.
You're going, right?
I am going. I have the ticket. I don't have the
You've
flight.
been to Ibiza?
I have not.
Oh.
But
it's
I
gonna
will
be
go
fun.
for the Prids. So
I'll
I'm
go for the Prits.
very curious to see how that
But a
turns out.
dad.
Yeah. Another local event was Hunter's No Neon at Department. You know,
Mhm.
shout out Hunter. He has been grinding for years. And this is where it goes back to any artist in our industry. It will take years sometimes to see success. Like I went to his first No Neon show like years ago back at I forget where it was. I know I went to the Coda one more recently, but him seeing success with the Stephanie edit, a couple other unreleased tracks, like all it takes is that one song, which is
And
like
the yes, bitch.
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
like with that
Yeah,
mega
bitch.
collab with Danny Avila on them.
Mhm.
Like and him selling out Department amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
Right? Especially with considering he's a local, he's now getting worldwide recognition.
After Department, it's Rebel, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also
Yeah.
showed up at Ultra.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had a
Oh.
lot of clips at Ultra too, where he showed up with Adam Bear. He showed up with
Mhm.
Eli Brown.
Mm.
I mean, for
Nice.
a local guy to have that success,
Yeah.
really cool. Really cool. We talked about it earlier, but Laser City at Coca. So Laser City ended up happening at Coca-Cola. Thank God.
Yeah.
I'm so sad I didn't go.
Was
Yeah, me
that the
neither.
only one who went then on the
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
Yeah.
snowboarding.
I was also very injured.
Yeah.
I had
Couldn't dance.
I had seats, thank God.
I mean,
Mhm.
you can't. I don't know. I wouldn't dance to Laser City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had foot surgery, and literally it was like a week later, and I'm just like, I need a seat. So I literally like hobbled my way there, sat in a seat, and watched the entire thing.
That's
I'm like,
nice.
I'm okay with
Yeah.
this, and it was fine. But it was so close to being at casino. It's actually wild.
It looked like a really good show. Like, I'm actually very tempted to go see his last date because I saw videos of like different locations, different different stops, and I felt like I was having FOMO. So I'm like actually very tempted to go to the last date in London in September. Yeah, that's kind of on my mind right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool. All the videos. Once again, viral marketing. All like Laser speak for himself. You don't even have to enjoy the music. The videos are cool. Couple festival lineups we have. We have Veld. Finally full lineups out.
Mhm.
We have Escapades full lineups out. And we
Mhm.
have
Nowhere
Nowhere.
Fest.
Nowhere Fest in the middle of nowhere, technically.
Mhm.
Full lineup is also
releasing
out.
its lineup.
Some people thought it was underwhelming, but I think it's a good kickoff. Big Gigantic is good.
Yeah, like it is. So it's in county, like BLR County is what it is. It's like 25 kilometers, 50 kilometers west of Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a camping festival, which is like really cool.
Don't forget Rampage.
Rampage happening in Montreal too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like really cool. But just moving for that one in particular, we never have a base festival that filled ever after.
This is it.
So this is now back to ever like
Yeah.
RRP
But
ever after.
it's kind of tough because it's a week before Lost Lands. So I kind of pitched it to a lot of my friends who were like in neighboring states here, and they're like, no, the lineup's not as good, even though it's very cheap. It's like right before Lost Lands, so it's kind of like tight. Yeah,
But
you should tell them it's a warm up for Last Land.
yeah. No, I'm warming
once
up.
again, ravers. People do back-to-back weekends.
Yeah.
So
I'm warming up.
I that's not an excuse for
Yeah.
people.
It's not an excuse not to go to a rave.
Well, essentially,
Yeah.
knowing some people, it's just like I might as well just go.
Mhm.
It's kind of funny because like when you meet a raver and you become friends with them, like they know how to enable and convince you in the most
Raver math.
nonchalant and like convincing way to get you to go to a show.
We've done raver math before
Yeah.
here, so
Yeah, we've done the numbers.
Mhm.
So speaking of our local one, Veld, what do you guys think of the lineup? Well, I think Veld's been killing it last couple of years. with the
I mean,
lineup.
a lot of my New York friends come up for it. They think it's cheap, the currency's good, the lineup's like good, and it's a replacement technically for Izu.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
I think
a-
it's very tech house heavy this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, this house.
Yeah.
Tech
I
house
think
crowd.
tech house is big in Toronto.
Well,
too big.
okay, so there's two things with that now. There's Tech House and Afro House.
Yeah.
Like literally, as the recording of this, there's the coffee party TO
Yeah.
that happened in
The
the
Well.
well. Guess what they're playing? Guess what genre? Afro
Afro
House.
House.
It is probably the
I
summer of Afro House again.
I think it caters more to the general community too, because a lot of this coffee house crowd, they don't listen to EDM.
It's a very
Yeah.
mainstream. Like Afro House works really well in daytime party
like
vibes.
coffee, like
Yeah.
coffee, like in the cafe, like
Yeah.
pool
Because
party.
you don't know why it's like a background music, so you can actually talk to
you
people.
can actually
yeah.
talk to people. That's why I'm saying
It's a
that's we're gonna mention the EI,
sipping
we're gonna
thing.
mention the EI lineup, but that's why I'm like, yo, Fort York under the bridge, perfect spot for Afro
Mhm.
House because literally everyone there will just talk and listen to the music
Yeah.
as
like the
background.
Bentway.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bentway because they have the sound restriction. So I'm just like, yo, Afro House, perfect. Just people, the Toronto yapping epidemic is there, and you can
Yeah.
just listen to Afro House in the background.
it gives under the K Bridge in New York.
Yeah, well, that has better sound.
yeah.
But anything about the Veld line? Yeah, very tech house heavy,
Yeah.
really good, like really.
Yeah.
I would
think
say
it's-
so. Yeah,
As
I would say for the tech house lineup, it has the big names. So and you're in for a treat if you love tech house. So
Yeah,
just
John
go for
Summit,
it,
Don
yeah.
Bella, like great, like just
Mhm.
as closers.
I
like,
think
great.
I've gotten kind of tired of everything and always. Is that how you say it? I always get it wrong.
Yeah, but they're not doing it. They're
Yeah,
doing
them
separate
individual.
sets.
Yeah.
They're doing
Yeah.
separate sets.
Yeah, the ultra.
Maybe for day 3.
Maybe AP. You never
Maybe
know.
AP,
AP,
day 3
yeah.
at Rebel.
Jumping to my experience at Ultra, they played day 1
Yeah.
closing. The sound was so quiet. Like I was at the back, and it was
Oh.
so.
I've heard that
quiet.
always about Friday Ultra though. That's
And
really
then
quiet.
they amped it up obviously the days after. But I was like, after that set, I was like, this is my 3rd time seeing them and like together, and I'm like, I'm good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think same thing with Escapade too. Like Friday, it's significantly softer than Saturday and Sunday. So maybe the change of venue this year will make it up for that. Who
Okay.
knows?
So does everyone know the lineup for both? Just around
Which-
the table for
for-
Escapade versus Veld. 'Cause
Kind
that
of,
always
yeah.
comes up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one do you guys like more?
Probably
Oh, it's Escapade.
I like Escapades more.
Yeah. I mean,
Anjuna
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Actually, Anjuna Day
Anjuna
makes
Day.
it. But you know what? It is. It's not just the Anjuna Day. It's the overall roundness of the festival.
Yeah.
Like it's like the bass gets its
the bass gets its day, its
And it-
stage.
Yeah, bass with drum and bass too, which is
Yeah.
like the, and then you get your big, you get your mainstream prog artists that like killing it.
And
Then you got your
mainstream
Anjuna,
artists.
and then you got your
Yeah.
bass day. Like it's just overall all rounder, a more diverse festival. I
Yeah.
find, and we always say Escapade's a nice travel festival, like a mini vacation, especially like with this whole push for like supporting Canadians and supporting like just a quick weekend getaway is what we say, which is like really good. But yeah, our panel agrees. I think the Escapade lineup's better. It is much better.
Well, only because there's way too much tech house here.
I think for the past few years, it's always been better in my opinion.
It's always been better.
Yeah.
But the new location, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
I don't think we mentioned this one, but like I wanted to bring in Rogers Stadium.
Oh yeah, the good.
Yeah.
But no EDM events. But yes, they
Really?
are. I don't think that any.
Not
No,
yet.
no, no,
Not
like,
yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
Who
not
knows?
yet.
Who knows? Who
But
knows?
it's a pop-up venue, so it's
Yeah.
only available in the summertime.
Summer.
Yeah, so Coldplay's the big one. I think
Oh.
that was announced.
That would be
Great.
And I think Oasis, Linkin Park.
Linkin Park's
Linkin
in,
Park.
no. Linkin Park's in Scotia.
Okay, then it's Oasis.
Yeah.
That's-
Oh,
okay,
yeah. So it might be Oasis that's
Yeah.
playing there. Yeah. As a cool pop. We need more. I mean, what were we using that space for anyways? It was literally
Yeah.
the airport,
Yeah.
right? It's turning into a more condos, more development
Mhm.
area. So having a pop up venue to host it is like really cool. And then we just mentioned EI. The EI dates are announced. So May 17th, 18th, June 28th, 29th, August 8th and 9th, and August 31st and 30th.
Well, some of the lineups has already announced.
So
in
the May one's announced, and then there's leaks of like other
Yeah.
yeah.
Max
Max
Styler is
Styler.
coming August 8th, and then Elderbrook with the cancellation
Yeah.
said he's coming August. So really cool,
So
especially for...
you guys think it's Elderbrook at EI?
No,
No.
it is.
Oh, it is,
It
it
is.
is.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
EI even came out, and they didn't do it for Max Styler, but I think the reason they did that for Elderbrook is because people knew his show's coming up.
And they're not going to reschedule.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, oh, he also announced he couldn't reschedule, but hey, I'm playing EI.
Yeah.
It's marketing, right? You're not going to do it for Max Styler because it's like he wasn't probably supposed to say it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like wait for the lineup now for that one. But
Even the posts of Electric Island say, "Oh, you guys know here's Elderbrook coming and
Yeah.
this thing." Yeah.
and then also happening in our, as I said, EI, great. I mean, definitely always check out. Great vibe, just
Mhm.
like great vibe. For
Mini
EIs.
festival.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice day outing. A lot of half for house probably this year.
Yeah,
We'll
probably.
see.
Yeah, a lot
Uh,
of house definitely.
And then I just want to shout out to more underground festivals that are happening. One is second year of Sojourn Festival, which happens at McCormick, supporting the underground. It's like what is it, like UKG Garage? It has some techno. It has some more minimalistic stuff, which is like really cool, supporting that because our community here is very strong for that, especially with the rise of UKG. UKG is popping right now.
Yeah,
Popping.
sold out Interplanetary Criminal.
Yeah, that just happened this
Yeah,
past weekend.
one night in which warehouse? Gary? No.
It was like one of the Gary
Yeah.
warehouses, and then the other one was
Coda,
and then Sammy Virgie's always selling out
Oh, yeah.
like crazy right now. And then the other one that was literally just announced is the Industry Festival. So Industry, one of our local techno
Mhm.
companies, they are doing it at like the
U of
university.
T.
UFT, right?
Yeah, UFT, and, like-
Yeah. At like a residence, is it?
It's one of the
What?
it's one of the
It
hard
looks
house.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
They didn't
Courthouse of the
say
hard
it,
house.
but it's been teased. It is a partnership with Horror Berlin, which is the everyone knows that backsplash for the bathroom sets. So definitely check it out. It is a partnership with them because they're bringing on a tour, a worldwide tour.
Yeah, and they're recording that set.
And they're recording it. Yeah. So it should be really cool. Yeah. So to round up this episode, you guys have any travel plans this year? I guess we'll start with we'll start with our travel specialist over there on the end, Christine.
Last week I decided to go to EDC, so probably gonna be in New York before that. Maybe I'll catch a new Mirage show. Maybe, who knows? And then
you went to Ultra already this year, right?
Yes. I just came back from Miami. Did Factory Town, did the whole spiel, Mano Winwood, Bayfront Park, and then oh my god, I hope my employer doesn't see this. But I just got my PTO approved for Electric Forest. So doing Electric Forest Thursday to Monday. But before Electric Forest, I'm gonna be in LA because some of my friends are hosting. They host a DJ event. Like, there are a bunch of DJs locally, and they host it in a different city every year. So Melon Patch is in LA this year. Last year we did it in Boston. Well, they did it in Boston. And then July, looking kind of empty. Hopefully I could save some money that month. I'm not doing
the raving dilemma.
Yeah.
But it's either it's Shambhala right now at the end of the month, or I get baited to Tomorrowland week 2. Who knows? And then
Raver math.
Yeah.
August.
It's like on two completely different sides of the planet too, which is hilarious.
August I got Veld. Veld probably because I'm at home and I'll probably go because a bunch of friends are visiting. Base Canyon is on my list right now, but
Also announced the festival.
I think Elements was always on my list, but I don't know if I'm gonna.
Are you doing Thunderdome again this year?
That's next
Thunderdome
year.
was in February, and I skipped Thunderdome this year because the lineup was like okay. But they actually closed the Thunderdome out with surprise guest Illenium, so it was Excision back to back Illenium. But I don't think I'm missing too much. And then what was it? September is Nowhere Fest in Lost Lands.
And this is why I started with you.
Yeah. And then
Our traveling connoisseur over here.
October, my friends are trying to bait me.
Oh, we're still not done.
Yeah,
Mhm.
October, my friends are
Yours
trying to
is
bait me
going.
to Escape or Apocalypse. Wait, no, Escape. No. October's only Escape, so maybe I'll rest that month. Who knows? November.
Sounds like a plan.
November
Or you can full send to
Our old
80.
bones are like crying right now.
November is Trance
Dream State?
Dream
Dream State,
State
yeah.
into Apocalypse. It's at Queen Mary,
Yeah.
back-to-back weeks, just different stage lighting and stuff. But definitely doing Dream State again. But we don't know about Apocalypse. We'll see. December was what? Night Hearts.
Rest. Can you say rest, please?
Wait, Night Hearts. Wait, December. Wait.
I'm just gonna say Christina's resting in December.
Wait, no, but I think Night Hearts should be around December. Isonox new festival, but I don't know if I'm gonna go. But I'm definitely considering that. And then year end, who knows? Maybe.
This is the raver dilemma. You already have your entire year planned out,
Yeah.
i.e. then some.
Oh yeah. I.e. then some on my bingo. My life bingo this year is travel out of the continent. But then we did the calculations. If I travel out of the continent for like just traveling trip, I would have to sacrifice one festival.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think that math adds up.
Or you could go to Tomorrowland and then travel around.
Yeah.
The full pod goes to Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was thinking like if I already had a plan. So if it was too expensive for me to last minute buy flights to Amsterdam, was it
No,
No,
Belgium.
Brussels,
Brussels, yeah.
Brussels, I would probably just fly into. I have family in France, so I'll probably just ask them and fly into France and then train my way over.
You could do that, yeah. I mean, we also joked about like traveling, doing a Europe full 2-3 months festival.
I think that's
every
possible.
weekend.
You know,
We have a funny, like, I think I text him and maybe a couple other people. It's just like, all right, we start Escapade, go into this festival, go into this festival, go into this festival, then Tomorrowland, then this festival,
My
then
friends
this
are-
festival, then this festival.
I have friends doing Tomorrowland, and then they're flying to Toronto for Veld, and then they're doing something after, I forget. And then I have a friend, I saw him post on Instagram notes looking for October sublet in Denver. Red Rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what we are doing. Tomorrowland, back home to Veld, and then
Probably
the
EI.
Then EI
Yeah,
the following week. Oh my god.
And those friends I'm talking about doing Tomorrowland to Veld, they're not from Canada, so
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
yeah, I'm done. Thanks.
Yours done? Okay. All right. Time to take maybe like a 1 minute segment for the rest of us. Arrpita, so you went to We Belong Festival, right?
Yep,
And
that's
you
right.
talked a bit about it too, but like
Mhm.
really cool.
Honestly, great festival. Not as crazy busy as Ultra, obviously. Headliners, 2 hours each, starting at 4 p.m., go all the way till 2 a.m., no stage clashes. And honestly, it's one of those festivals, like all ravers go to festivals, meet people. This festival, you meet people and then you just stick with them, because
Yeah.
it's one
You're
stage.
literally one stage, so
Yeah.
you vibe with it.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was there and right at the first set, where we're there just hanging out, not too many people. Someone comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, are you Arrpita?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "We're in the same group for Lane 8 on like Instagram." And she's from like outside of Toronto, and then ended up spending my whole festival with her and like other solo ravers. And then now we're friends.
Nice.
So
I
it's,
love
you know.
Yeah, I love that.
Anything
Yeah.
upcoming for you this year?
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to go to Red Rocks. Not sure if it's
Which
going to
show?
be. I've
Gotta be
seen
in it.
I've
gotta be into
seen I've seen Lane 8 before.
Yeah.
Loved it. Might go again, but my boyfriend wants to go to see Subfocus and
Yeah.
Dimensions. So
Worship.
Worship.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
What
it.
about
Okay.
Skrillex?
You know what? I really want to go. It's
Yeah.
May, five
Yeah.
hours. I'm like, that's great, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Mm.
Yeah. But what else? I most likely will also try to do ADE if I can.
October.
That's what
Yeah,
we're
so
trying
it's
to
gonna
say.
be
Yeah.
really busy October.
Yeah.
Amsterdam too.
Mm.
Yeah. But this is one of my years where I'm just gonna go with the flow.
Mm.
that's
Whichever
good.
festival.
Yeah.
Maybe Tomorrowland weekend too.
Hey, let's
Hey,
go.
let's go.
But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. How about you guys?
I think our travel plans is almost the
Identical.
same, like identical. Okay, so I did go to ASOT earlier this
Oh, yeah.
this year, and there was a funny story. Like, who's going to Rotterdam in February, right? Really cool festival. I really enjoyed it. Obviously not as state of techno, more like in a state.
Yeah,
of
he's
trance.
literally
Yeah.
a state of techno now. Like I can't. Like,
yeah. And then we went to an Intercell one, which is like more. Right now, Europe's popping with like some of the underground scenes. So we went to like a day party in Intercell.
Mhm.
It's just, as I said, we need more day parties here because in a warehouse in a day, and I can go home at like 8. Although I went to ASOP, but like
I want to-
realistically, you can go to another. You can go home right after. It's great.
I want to kind of intercept in the ASOT worldwide stage at Ultra was fire. I wish I stayed for the B3B, but
Always good vibes at
Yeah.
Miami
Yeah.
ASOT because it's like there's so much going on, and especially Ultra is known for
probably
its
the best set.
more mainstream crowd,
yeah.
and Armin always conflicts with the headliner, and he always throws down a proper like trance or like techno.
It was
trance
very
festival.
proper. It was very trance.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. I said nice thing about Ultra, everything's uploaded online, most
yeah.
of it, so
And it's
you-
live too.
Yeah, and everyone debuts new music, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
But I know mine. I'll say it, and then you can chime in.
Sure.
So I did ASOT. We're doing like the EIs, the local stuff. We're looking at Escapade, and then we're doing Tomorrowland as one of the main ones, and Veld,
Oh
and
yeah.
then I'll have more EIs, and then if things work out, maybe EDE.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that's
like-
that's you.
We keep yeah, we keep getting pressured to go. So it's just
Yeah.
like it's kind of one of those things. It's like 80s. Let's just say 80s always been in my cards for like the last couple of years, but then you look at your financial status and you're like,
Yeah.
yep, can't do it.
It's also
Maybe next
because
year.
it's at the end of the year and you have all the plans and you find out that you don't even have any more PTO to just do
to do it.
ADE.
Or like, unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, but I did Dream State. So it's like I used it for Dream State versus 80. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, shit.
It was on my list last year, and then a wedding came up, and then I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, it's done.
So you can, I think your itinerary is mostly the same other than no ADE.
Yeah. Well, yes. Escapade to be determined. Nowhere Festival. Hopefully we can get media.
Oh, yeah, nowhere too.
Yeah, Nowhere. And then Tomorrowland and Vernip Arena.
Oh, yeah, we're doing that.
Yes.
Gotta buy our
Yeah.
tickets.
Yeah, we gotta buy our tickets.
Right
But
after.
Vernip Arena, probably maybe my last time listening to hard techno. ever.
Really? Why?
Why?
Go out with a
Why?
bang.
I go because I think
It's
I was trying to
mainstream.
convince people that I think hard techno is a phase.
Mhm.
So and like the more you go to hard techno, the more it sounds the same. Same
Oh,
with like tech
okay.
trance and same with tech house.
I don't go often enough.
But it's also one of those things where the crowd matters. So
Yeah.
the people you
Okay.
go with
Yeah.
make the
Mhm.
experience a lot
So
better.
the crowd's starting to get bad.
It's not
No.
that. I just
Our
feel
crowd's
like
great.
the crowd's great. Like that's energy is there. Like
Energy.
if somebody wants to listen to hard techno, by all means, go for it. It's just that I've been to hard techno like probably 20, 30 times already for the past 6
I
months.
haven't been doing that. So.
Yeah, so it's just like a lot in a sense. Like you kind of just got like burned out in a sense. But every now and
all
then,
the hard techno communities and
Yeah.
all the organizers keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
we
exactly,
we
yeah.
notice how
Yeah.
good you guys are doing it.
and it's for me it's good in small doses. So like I think going to Vernip Arena and going out in a bang in that sense, like you have 8 hours of full back to backs and the 360 sets. Yeah.
Okay.
gonna-
Go
it's gonna-
out with a bang. I get it.
Yeah.
I always said Tomorrowland's my retirement festival, and
Yeah. But I'm
Here
gonna
we
convince.
are.
I'm convincing
He'll
him
go
that it's
to one every
not. Yeah, it's
Well,
not.
I
a
mean, I
retirement
don't
Burn
think
festival.
them every year.
I don't think it is.
It's your first time.
Yeah, first
right?
time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
You're
think it's
gonna
gonna be.
love it.
I've
open
always
a
said
new
it's
thing.
my
You're gonna
retirement
love it.
festival, and I'm just gonna do it. But everything fell on my lap, so I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it should be
One
good.
time's not enough.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to round out this episode, any final thoughts? Any sets you guys want to shout out? Anything?
As an Anjuna fan, a festival that you should consider. I don't know if you guys have ever been or like the Albania festival.
Explorations.
Explorations.
Have you been?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Amazing. 7 days of literally
7 days.
Yeah, you get there, music all the time. You wake up, you have sunrise sets, you like go to bed, you wake up, everyone's there for the festival. It's this little town that you're all, hanging out, going to the beach.
Where do you stay? Hotel?
Yeah,
Okay.
they have a bunch of
Mhm.
hotels around and they have shuttles to take you around if you need. So everyone's
It's
just
daytime party vibes, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you just
fun.
have to take 5 days of PTO.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it is pretty reasonable compared to the other ones just because it is Albania. So it's not as expensive as, local festivals, I would
Yeah.
Oh,
say.
okay.
Yeah. Cause
Yeah,
even-
it's essentially just getting there is the problem. And once
Mhm.
you're there, it's cheap.
Yeah. And they like sell packages, which I think are fairly reasonable too. So yeah, because you have music like basically 18 hours a day.
Yeah, nice.
I'm my advice right now is if you have the means to, I'm a pure festival goer. I don't really go to shows anymore.
Mix and match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like
now
ASMR
local
shows.
shows popping. So
Poppin'. Our local
local
shows.
Oh,
shows are
like
popping.
supporting the local DJs, like the event we went to yesterday. That's great. Like
Mm.
go support those shows. Are what, like $15-$30? Like it's
Yeah.
it's doable.
Yeah, the way I look at
Huh.
it too with locals is that we say it all time and time again. They don't have to warm up anyone.
Mhm.
They'll play their set how they want, and the night's
Mhm.
gonna be vibrant,
Yeah.
which is really cool. But yeah, I've heard great things about Injuna Explorations. Definitely, if you're an Injuna diehard, definitely a festival to go to.
Lastly, any hot takes for this EDM season or like just in general?
So
Too much tech house.
Too much Afro House, down with
Yeah.
Afro House.
Yeah.
well,
If you don't have anything, that's fine.
Yeah.
All
Plur,
right.
plur.
All right. I think we will round out this episode, guys. So
Well,
thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. If you enjoyed us and want us to support, please share it with a fellow raver, like and comment. We do have a PayPal donation link if you do want to support us a bit more. It would mean a lot to us on that to keep it going. This podcast is audience funded, so yeah, we're here to give you more content. If you guys are looking for a new pair of earplugs, we have a discount with Hears. If you group buy a package, it's a lot cheaper. All the links are in the description below.
Protect
Yeah.
your ears.
Protect your ears. They partner with a lot of big brands, and we also have a discount code with Zound for 10% off, in addition to any sale they have. So if you need a solo pair, very good earplugs. All of us, I know, all of us on
I've
the
used
panel.
both.
Yeah,
I use both.
and they're really good. We also have a new partnership with Arrpita, the traveling eSIM.
Airlo, yeah.
Arrpita.
Air Arlo. Yeah,
Air
Air
Arlo.
Yeah,
Arlo.
something like
Arlo.
that. Sorry.
So if you're a new customer, you get 15% off your first purchase, which is like really good if you're traveling around the world. And if you're an existing customer, you get 10% off. The link's in the description below. So I believe that's it for this week's episode. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks, Arrpita, for joining us on this week's episode.
thanks for having me.
We will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.